I should have just given up some information about who I am. And I'm bummed that I didn't. It would have made him trust us more. Would have gone on his good side instead of his bad side, which I'm pretty sure we're on now. I trust his word, but it's always good to do what a vampire asks, I think. And then he sends us down into fucking hell.
We end up in a dusty old crypt. Yeah, hunting down monsters, probably the most terrifying thing I've ever done. Dark things in every corner that can kill you. Slight movements in the corner of your eye. Torchlight only goes out about 15 to 30 feet. Flickers in the slight breezes of air rising up to the surface. Might need a change of underwear after this. Not the worst thing we could have found. Still fucking terrifying, though. Giant spider that killed a couple of his servants. Kind of does a fun phasing in and out of existence.
I didn't expect to see any real life beasts like that underneath the crypt. But I remember my mentor talking about them. I couldn't forget the mere images. Would have been very bad. If any of us would have really died down there would have been no peace afterwards.
Had a fun time chilling in some webs, spiders all around, crawling up our bodies, biting at everything. I have bug bites in places that I didn't know I could get bug bites. Killed that, burned it, maimed it, chopped its limbs off.
I gotta be very careful. Now, they found some other kind of weapon that's made of silver, no surprise. Thinking about getting some gloves. Found some money. Might share it with the others, but now's not really a good fucking time.
Got a bit of treasure. Seems Lorelei is going to be pulling her weight in the melee department now. We found a very interesting tool. Gonna need one of those pearls, though. Kind of forgot the luxuries of being able to just go to people at the church and be like, hey, I need this material. And they're like, oh, okay, here you go. You can borrow this. Yeah, I actually need to spend money on stuff now. And I am broke.
But we came out stronger, I guess, because what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. But I sucked, and I didn't like it. And now, coming outside, you will know anyway that it's William, because the guard know for some reason, and so will he.
There's only 3 people I know that would have known where else William Flint was. 2 of which are with me. I don't think Lorelei would have said anything, but in that moment, meeting with that other vampire, it almost felt like she was taking Cillian's side with that, but no one will understand or get it. For the people I used to travel with.
But still, if I can't go back, don't think I would have done it. I'm growing attached to these fucking people, and I shouldn't be. I know I shouldn't be. But I am. I sort of kind of like him. And I don't want to do anything that genuinely upsets them. Of course, I'd do anything to upset Amrita because it's funny, but not actually do something that might hurt their feelings, which is a new for me.
But I'm going to be having some words after we resolve this problem. Can't have anyone else dying, even if it is someone close to William. I don't think Nathaniel would have wanted anything to happen.
Right now, the only person that might be suspicious is that priest. There's There's very few people left that could be coordinating all of this. And leaning back to the beginning, he was the only person that accused or even thought of it being werewolves. So I don't want to go and barging down the church and accusing somebody of riling up vampires and werewolves, but if it's going to solve the investigation, then
this is going to be a long fucking day.
And it is a little while after noon when you've come upon this handful of militia and Cathars who are investigating, it seems, the floral shop, when you're suddenly rained down with glass shattered from an upper window and a large, broad-shouldered, darkly clothed individual leaping out, hits the ground, and then immediately these grayish, spectral, incorporeal wings just burst from his back as he takes flight. A few of you could probably see as he flies just the briefest turn of his head to look back, but he can't stay. The militia and the Cathar leading them, he just kind of nods, draws hhis blade, weapons out, arrest the thrall. And you can see from the broken window upstairs, Werther's thin and pale body as he kind of leans out, just like reaching for the air and nothing, watching as William flies.
Is there anything we can do? I got nothing.
Why are they arresting them? Just there, aren't they?
Oh, at this point, they would completely smash the door in and start moving into the house. Are you guys going to attempt to stop them or just let this happen?
I will say Amrita will attempt to stop it. Hey, he's just a flower man. Leave him be.
Just a flower man. If the consensus is that at least a few people are going to attempt to stop, maybe not the arrest, but any kind of like persecution or prosecution, we are going to do a skill trial for that.
Yeah,
that is something you guys
in that way. I won't intervene, but I will try to talk things down. Yeah, definitely.
Right, that is an option.
that I don't know who these people are.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
your
boy.
your main options are to either like use, verbal, means you can try to manipulate the situation based on knowledge you have of it, if any, and then of course there is the more aggressive route, but whatever you choose will have consequences on the future. So yeah.
Hi.
You know what? If they look concerned, goddamn it, I'll try and help.
Yeah, kind of as William just flies away, like Lorelei also kind of reaches out like for him, just like very meekly, just like and whispers for him like not to go. She doesn't shout after him, but it's just like, please don't go. Of course, William wouldn't hear that.
Right. The other thing to keep in mind is this skill trial doesn't necessarily all have to be like immediate. It could be like, oh, later on in the day, even if he's been arrested, I want to go and talk to Dragomir and, try to persuade him of this, or use some arcana and try to convince somebody of like the way vampires can charm people and try to say, oh, he must have been under mind control, it's not his fault, that sort of stuff. So it doesn't have to be like in this instance, like to avoid him just getting arrested, but just avoid his head getting chopped off.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like in this moment, though, that my character would maybe try to get to him first and kind of position when it's her turn anyway, depending on,
It leaves like presume this person's gonna help not get his head chopped off because he doesn't know what's going on, but
Where's
he
insight?
probably doesn't deserve to die.
Insight's,
flowers.
Insight's on green.
Okay. I'm actually gonna go start. I'm gonna start red. I'm not choosing red for violence,
Sure.
but I need to start red.
The one day Tristan doesn't choose violence.
Ooh, this is fun. I like this a lot.
Asuriel, being the first one to really react to this, even though she's confused by the situation, she's less stunned than some of the others.
It just locks up, and let's see, what am I gonna do? Let's go investigation to figure out what's going on. So she knows what's going on.
Isn't
Can't
investigation
spell that.
green?
Yes, it is.
Oh fuck, it is. Alright, let's go Arcana then. It's the same modifier.
Yeah. So, trying to determine what's going on, obviously you've seen what is very clearly a vampire, and you weren't involved with speaking with William in the past, kind of piecing everything together, and if you're trying to deter the guards from being overly hostile to this man you've seen in the upper window, try to convince them that vampires have means of manipulating minds, and he may not have been like at fault, this other individual Werther. It may have been less of his volition and more of like a mind control thing. You don't know for sure, but it does seem as though the Cathar kind of looked back and just gives you a slight nod as he's considered it.
I'm going to turn to the group while we're standing there. This one is in this moment. And say, he's been charmed. That's the story. And then I want to use my stealth to try and get to Werther before the guards. And have like a quick word with him. Like, But my goal being, like, I want to calm him down, tell him, you're going to be arrested. We're not going to be able to stop that. Otherwise, we'll be arrested. But you're going to be fine, thanks to us. Everything's going to be right.
Sure.
You've been charmed. And then tell him, like, the story.
Yeah, go ahead and do that. You can use your ability to communicate via these, like, Geist spirits to help with that. But just try to position yourself so that the other guards can't tell that you're the one doing this. It's close. One of the guards, the last one in the door, you think almost looks back at you, but you realize he's just kind of like holding out his hand to block anyone else from entering. As you communicate, you can see up on the window the tears streaming down Werther's face, but he like looks around hearing this and eventually down at you, and you make eye contact, and he somehow seems to recognize what you're saying to him.
Okay, that's good enough.
Gonna use my investigation to try and this is kind of like just keeping her eye out for any like kind of clues as to who might have blown the whistle here, to see if she can like pinpoint who ratted William out. Basically, is what she's trying to get out of this. Are you fucking for real?
And while there are people on the street starting to congregate after the window shattered out and this commotion, the guards knocking on a business door, it's impossible to tell if any of them had anything to do with it, if it was maybe all of them. Rumors and such that fly in towns, but it's impossible to pinpoint.
Amrita will use her athletics to try and get up to Werther first.
Okay. You almost let the claws in your hands extend just a little bit, keeping it back in this intense moment just enough to let you scale the wall on the exterior of the building and get up to the window, climbing in before the guards can make it upstairs. He's a bit shocked, and you kind of like force your hands to retract.
I'm gonna do an Irish jig, do a backflip, and then shoot myself in the face. I'll walk in the
Wow.
front door.
Performance check.
I'll look. Nat 20.
You
My-
accurately shoot yourself in the face.
You crit yourself.
I'll hold my hand out, and I'll tell them to stop with an intimidation check, because they're walking straight into a vampire's den, and they might get fucking wrecked by something inside that they don't know about.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna do the intimidation that I get a plus 1d4 on. Yeah, they're intimidated.
Yeah. The mere suggestion that maybe that wasn't the only vampire gives even the other Cathar pause as they're at the base of the stairs looking up. All of them have their weapons out, but they see this narrow passage that is very much a choke point, looking up like, maybe we need to proceed with a little more caution.
Yeah, like weapons, vampire, no wooden stakes. Really just don't want to see you guys get butchered. And I'll move to blue 8.
Alright, may I do a religion check?
Sure. Are you doing this right here? Or
Yeah, to get to 10.
yes.
Didn't you already get to 10?
No, I only got I got the 5.
She would be
Actually,
on
get
10,
to
so it's a DC 10 religion check.
Oh,
Bro.
Fortunately, this kind of innate knowledge, understanding almost of the domains of the church and their enemies comes natural to Asuriel, and as these guards have paused at the bottom of the stairs, you can just start rattling off information about vampires and how they fight, and you can see them all just shrinking back a bit, like they thought there was just one human thrall up there, and now it's like, ugh, maybe we need to come back with backup.
There
Although
we
as
go.
of yet, they don't seem completely deterred from making an arrest, but perhaps coming back with more, giving some time, but we shall see.
Okay. So most of the things I want to do would be if Werther got arrested and locked up, right?
Okay.
But I don't know for sure if that happens yet, right? Or
Right,
is
it has
pretty-
not quite occurred yet, so...
Then
Although
for
this initiative doesn't necessarily have to be in order of the time of day.
Yeah, exactly. And what I presume is that he's gonna get arrested anyway, because
Probably.
otherwise
just a matter of
the
what they
options
do with
are
them after.
arrested or help him escape, which doesn't seem fruitful right now. So in that eventuality, I would go and try and persuade Dragomir that clearly he was just being charmed by the vampire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead and roll in.
Would that be deception? It doesn't really matter. It's the same. But
It's the same, yeah. I would, either one, whichever one you want to roll.
deception is fun.
Dragomir seems to have some understanding of the vampires of Stinzia. He's lived here long enough, his entire life, that it all makes sense. He's perhaps a bit curious as to why you care so much, but he does listen to what you're saying and seem to recognize that is legitimate.
I'm gonna stealth to try and just like back away without anyone noticing, and just kind of like pull away into like a more quiet space, and like just kind of get her shit together because she's freaking out. So she's just gonna stealth, make sure none of the party, none of the guards like see her, and just kind of pull away into an alleyway and just catch her breath there. That's what she's gonna do.
Sure.
Because clearly she's freaking out.
Even the people on the streets who, in your frantic mind, think maybe even would associate you with William, having traveled with him in the past, as well as been there the night of the revolution, both of you, as well as Amrita, having helped topple the former burgomaster of this town. Getting out of their views probably the best bet for now.
Yeah.
So maybe this could be before he gets arrested or taken, since she got up to him to kind of get in between him and the guards and just kind of pulls him aside. Listen, whatever you gotta do, you just gotta say it's gonna be really shitty, but you cannot say that you love that vampire. Is that understood? You gotta admit to just being charmed.
And you're attempting to persuade him?
Yes.
Then yes, you can make that check.
Nope. I'm sad.
While he's nodding and seems to understand what you're saying, he's also disconnected almost from reality. This is just a sudden collapse of his understanding of the world. And with the tensions that have been roiling in Corsiva all coming to a head now and crashing down on him, you're not sure he's going to be able to withstand it.
You know what, Jake? I'm going to try and convince you of a tool check. I'm going to
Make your case.
I'm going to look at their weapons. And they're not convinced that they're well armed enough to go up there and possibly fight one, maybe more vampires. I want to be like, this is what you need. This is what you need to go to the church in. This is what you need to ask for to get. Like, higher quality swords, more men, more armor, wooden stakes, holy water, stuff like that. I want to go through the whole, listen to the Forge Cleric, you're going to need more equipment, maybe leave us to hold down the fort till you get back with more backup.
Here's how okay, there's a way that could work. Go ahead and roll it using your intelligence.
Okay.
Here's all the ways you're going to die.
Here's all the ways you're gonna fucking die up there.
And it's just enough. Basically, I'm gonna say they've all got their weapons out. Maybe two of them had shields. You just like basically grab one of their swords, not even from them, but just like pull it toward you, like point out some nicks on it, show them, that's just basic steel. You're not going to be able to do much. None of them have blessed weapons. You can see most of them are just militia. They don't even have holy symbols. And just the state of their equipment and their armor, you're like pulling at their collars, being like, you don't even have your necks covered, that sort of thing. And it is just enough to make them think, sure, that's not a great idea. So the other Cathar, who is relatively decently equipped, looks at you and says, all right, you go first.
These four go, you and I go up.
We'll go for that. We'll see what happens on the next check for that.
Okay.
I'm also going to do a tool check. I'm going to do my calligraphy tools, but this is for like later in the day. I'm just going to try and write a letter to either the church or the guards to like convince them to not fucking murder this flower man.
I'll say if you succeed, it's effectively going to be like a petition, a very nicely worded, official looking petition that you could get other people from Corsiva to sign, and effectively saying, vouching for him as members of the community, saying we don't think this person deserves a harsh punishment for this situation that he found himself in.
Yeah, that seems good. Let's see how this works. Now, of course, it's the first one I lose.
Oh no.
It's very well presented, very clean, official looking, but unfortunately you get like 5 signatures through the course of the day, and it doesn't feel like it's going to be enough to dissuade anything.
4 of them are from us.
Okay. While Acrio is holding these people up, like making them take longer, think about, can I use sleight of hand to remove any proof of like love between them? Maybe I can find some letters to remove them from the house so they wouldn't find anything.
I'll say you can certainly try. You grab a few things that you can see, but there's likely more upstairs. The problem is not being able to get up there. In the main kind of shop area, there was much to find, and the few things you do grab that seem like maybe likely aren't enough.
So me down the alleyway having my hyperventilating attack, I'm gonna just continue this crack-headed line of inquiry that I have and try and perceive anyone watching for a little too long. I just want to see if anyone's like, if they're just rubbernecking or if someone's like they're trying to see like the fruits of their labor here.
Sure.
It's like coming back out from the alleyway, like who's watching? And I will perceive. I will not.
It does look mostly like, as you said, rubbernecking. People just interested in commotion and disruption.
Well, I was having a bad day.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a really bad day.
All right, seeing Werther in his state, can I use investigation to see if there was anything left behind to take it, or would that still have to be sleight of hand, like investigate the room?
No, you can investigate for it.
Okay, and I will do that to also see if I can find any evidence to get rid of it. Oh boy.
You do find a bit more. There's even an old, well, I mean it's new, but it's an old looking, like, faded tintype photograph on the nightstand of the two of them. You quickly like take that and tuck it away, so no evidence of any direct connection.
Both now and over the course of how everything goes down, even if I assist in capturing Werther, if that happens, I want to start getting feels for people. I want to make an insight check to start seeing what the vibe is with the people trying to get Werther executed, arrested, the Cathar that's working with me. I want to see if people are out for his head unnaturally so.
Sure. If they're vindictive.
Yeah.
Acrio is a very lucky individual. I'm gonna say, Amrita, you do see as Acrio makes his way up the stairs, followed by another Cathar. The other guards do follow, despite him basically saying stay back. Like they're not gonna leave the situation in case there is a problem. But there are no other vampires upstairs. When the arrest is made of Werther, there's a little bit of spite, I think you might see on some of the guards' face, but it's more just like this, bastard working with a vampire, that sort of thing. It's not like, oh, we've been going after you for a while sort of situation. It's just the general feeling that a lot of humans have toward ones who work with vampires.
Yeah.
And if you were to mention, I think the other Cathar would say that this information came from the church.
What will Asuriel
do? I have survival and nature left.
Oh boy.
Go out, find some mushrooms.
There you go.
So,
identify my
I would
foot
say
now.
you're able to use medicine if you were to, once the arrest is made, be like, see, kind of do an examination, find that he is fairly extensively covered in bite marks on his flesh, and ones that are new and old, and
Wait a
ones
second.
use that as a means to convince them that clearly nobody would submit to this. This must have been vampiric charm.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
Right.
let's go with that. Yes.
Wait a second.
Ooh, nice.
Here, dick sucker, Maury!
Yeah, bloodsucker, Maury.
Later on in the day, as you are allowed to do an examination and present findings, the actual doctor within your group had kind of broken off earlier in the day before you even got to where those shops. So with him being absent, they were just, you had offered and they were kind of like, but your findings are pretty conclusive. And it's not like a thorough medical examination so much as just like showing, because you kind of suspected there would be bite marks on his neck and on his arms.
This guy fucked up.
Okay, so this might be deception, but I want to use investigation if you'll allow it. I kind of want to, so that my words have more meaning with the guard, help in the investigation, since that's basically what we've been doing.
Mm-hmm.
With like the Cormac stuff and stuff, so it would only make
Right.
sense that he would try and help investigate and kind of steer them in the wrong direction.
Tamper with the evidence.
Not necessarily tamper with the evidence or like do anything but kind of like forget to mention stuff.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. It's difficult at first, just due to the fact that you're Vistani, and the guards of this town, including Dragomir, don't seem the most enthusiastic about listening to what you have to say, but it is true, they have to concede that you've been part of this investigation leading into, or looking into Cormac, whatever happened to Ewan. You could potentially steer them in the direction of, clearly this is a vindictive vampire because he killed Ewan sort of idea, and they would buy that.
Sure, yeah, that's probably what I do.
Okay, I'm running out of options very quickly.
I am just going to, she's gonna, out of the alleyway, she's had a meltdown, and she's going to basically just try and just persuade them of Werther's innocence. It's not really, it's not so, because it's like persuasion or deception on this, but I'm going to try and persuasion.
Sure.
And it's going to
You
be
pick
more
one.
like, it's going to be like a lie of omission, more so, like focusing more on Werther's virtues than anything to do with vampires. Like, he's so, he's so nice. And
Pillar of the community, all that stuff.
everyone loves Flower Man. Everyone loves him. Everyone absolutely loves him. I've forgotten, there it is. I thought I just read the 7 at first, and I thought it was 7, and I almost screamed.
It does seem to have some sway. Like, fortunately, you do know some of Werther's history, as somebody who's lived in Korsava pretty much his entire life. How both of his parents are dead, and he lives on his own, and has for since he was like a teenager, basically. With his virtues, there's also kind of the underlying idea you get from them, guards and people, of like, oh yeah, he would be easy target for a vampire. Like, without you even saying that, you kind of get the idea and some murmurings that your words have taken hold and they're a little more sympathetic.
Yeah. We're playing the sympathy defense, ladies and gentlemen.
All right. Amrita is going to try and see if she remembers maybe William ever mentioning somebody else that might have gone to the shop or like known about him besides us and Galliana, to see if maybe he ever mentioned any names of that sort.
Okay.
Which is a history check, by the by, if that works.
Unfortunately, no names come to mind. Nobody distinctly. I mean, it's a flower shop in Corsiva. It doesn't get the most business, but you still have your romantics, your people who like set pieces on their tables, that sort of stuff. But there's nobody that comes to mind as being like, this person seems suspicious or weird or anything like that.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
The main event of the evening.
Can I use a survival check to keep myself as close as possible to Werther as I can? Like, he goes to prison, I'm going to the prison to keep an eye on him. He goes to the church, I go to the church with him. Just keeping an eye on him so nobody prematurely executes him.
Sure. Because I'll say you could do that even if you're not literally standing right beside him.
Yeah,
keep track of him so he's always kind of in your view.
Yeah.
Keep track of movements throughout the rest of the day.
Fuck.
But there are times when you're not sure if he's been moved to a different cell or what exactly you do. You do lose track of him
playing
for
fucking
small portions.
No, that just went from good to really, really bad.
Okay, I am going to try and insight to get a sort of vibe on how well our attempts are doing, like just to see how much of a influence we have had, or if they seem like they came here with an agenda and they're going to see it through regardless of what we're saying. Just want to get a vibe of how well it is that we are having an influence here.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is what we're doing really good, or is it really shit and we need to up the ante? And Lorelei has a meltdown in the street.
Starts fucking
Stensians
crying like Jinx.
are notoriously stoic, and their guards are tight-lipped. It's hard to tell even from the people if you've really made much of an impact at all.
Well, might as well pick one that I will fail at, because this is my last chance. I chose the wrong path to do. Nature check, I guess, to also keep up and see where specifically they take him, whether it's the same cell or a different one or church or whatever. Or would that not be nature? No, I don't think that would be nature.
That's more of a survival thing, potentially.
All right, then I'll do survival instead. So.
Sadly, it does seem as though Werther has momentarily disappeared.
All right, last Hail Mary perception. Perception on Werther or perception on? I wanna keep an eye on the church if Werther ever ends up there. I wanna be looking for that fat little piece of shit, possibly. If he is, in fact, a fat piece of shit and not just...
I mean, he's definitely fat and little.
A man trying to do his job, but we'll keep an eye out, or try to. Fuck!
Ha!
Let me just slap a 1d4 guidance on it. Start off strong, couldn't follow through.
As afternoon turns to evening and the florist is arrested, taken to Dragomir, Asuriel manages to display the bite marks, the old scars in his flesh. Cillian speaks to Dragomir, and Lorelei does what she can to communicate Werther's best interests. Acrio and Amrita teaming up to try to keep an eye on him to see if he's moved at all, unfortunately losing sight. And the fate of Werther is a bit inconclusive at this moment. Cillian and Asuriel, you both gain inspiration, but I will say everybody's gonna get a hero point for this effort because you did try really hard.
Wow,
A pity point!
Yeah.
A pity point! Woo!
I mean, that was dramatic. I felt for Werther in this moment.
I mean, it makes sense that at least like the two people that knew William are the ones that are one of the ones that ended up hampered in this and struggled to have the most impact.
But
yeah, it makes sense.
I'm
that
still
we're
pissed,
a little
though.
like.
That doesn't mean I can't still be pissed.
Oh yeah, we can still be pissed.
She's
but
pissed. Oh, I'm...
Acrio and Amrita, as you're moving toward the church to see if potentially that's where he's gone, kind of recognizing that no longer being held in the cells at the garrison, you start to see more and more people on the streets. People grouped up, just kind of moving from one area to the next. There's shouting, there's other inquisition happening, as it's like we've had a person murdered, looked like werewolves. We've had a man, as far as everyone knows, killed within the garrison itself. Now, fairly conclusive proof there was a vampire among us, and a thrall that's been arrested.
Ooh.
that's
Things
a
are not
chilling
looking
image to suddenly pass.
particularly good in Corsiva this night. What's everyone else? Where's everybody else? Cillian and Asuriel, and then Lorelei's just kind of having a breakdown in the street.
Yeah, she's having a breakdown in an alleyway somewhere.
Everyone's gonna go
William,
for Lorelei.
believe me, please.
What time would this be?
This is just after sunset.
Okay. I mean, yeah. Cillian would probably be close to this. Like where the action is happening.
I mean, it's throughout the city at this point.
Yeah, he would probably be in like with the guards at this point, like in that investigation thing, wherever
Sure.
that would be.
So I'm going to say you're near the garrison. There are guards that kind of have made their way through the city, and you can witness them like keeping an eye on the mob that's forming, but not do anything to deter it either. Which is a little bit concerning.
Does there seem to be like an instigator or a leader to the mob? Someone who's like shouting in the middle.
So you would recall several days prior, the first time I believe it was, you wanted to scope out the garrison, look around and see if you could get a bead on Dragomir. There was a bearded, ragged, almost looking priest who had been kind of like just shouting in the street about, you know, corruption in the town and that sort of thing, veiled influence, wolves within the gates. You definitely spot him, as well as a few other priests who are instigating. It's not malicious per se, but from your perspective and the people you know involved, it's a powder keg. Like, you would sense best intentions, but mobs don't usually go the right way.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just be moving among them. Make sure. No, he wouldn't intervene, like, at all. Not at this point.
What about Asuriel?
I'm gonna go look for Lorelei. She's a little scared about what's going on right now.
Make an investigation check.
Alright.
just follow the desperate and almost
no.
murderous
Rolling
crowd.
ass
Oh,
today.
no.
Oh my god.
Guys!
You
What do
get
we
jostled in the crowd. People paying little mind to you as you're trying to find Lorelei. It's just becoming hectic. Can I have you roll me a 1d10 plus 10?
Oh, I'm scared.
Wait, is that the old man?
Oh my god, it
no,
better not
that's
be.
actually
You rolled
that's
this?
the same thing you rolled last week. Effectively, it's another business. I'm gonna say you make your way on the western side of Corsiva, although you're disoriented at this point, you don't really know where you are. But you find, and I don't think you've ever actually visited this place, but you recognize it from description. An herbalism shop that is being smashed in, the windows broken, things thrown out. It's just being tossed.
Alright, just gonna go check on that.
There
Sorry,
doesn't seem to be
Lorelei.
anyone home or working
No,
there,
just-
but you can tell it's just, you can infer that this was likely Ewan's place of business.
Yeah, she's gonna go and ask the people, well, why they're smashing up a herbalist shop with a dead man.
I mean, you would effectively get that they're looking for evidence that he may have been a werewolf, and if he had any knowledge or alliances with others, and they're trying to find anything that they can.
Suck a dick. I'm glad I burnt that calendar. Hey!
You're gonna ask why he's already gone. It's not much of a point to it anymore.
There is if there's more of them. They run in
Like-
packs.
I guess. Did you see a girl with a blue hood around somewhere? Alright, maybe try not to wreck the herbs. They're still quite useful. They're just gonna leave.
Yeah, they're definitely paying attention to that.
One just like fucking
This
grabs
being
them
the-
off the wall and eats it.
Yeah, this being the new moon season, they were like just starting to sprout for the most part, other than his, old dried ones. So it's like, yeah, they're gonna not pay any attention. I mean, they're not like actively ripping herbs out of the ground or anything, but they're paying no mind to it either. You can hear things getting smashed off of shelves, like boards being pulled off the walls, looking for any like hidey holes, stuff like that.
Just keep looking for Lorelei then. It's getting increasingly scary now.
Amrita and Acrio.
Hi.
Approaching the church, there's that cobblestone. It's not a courtyard, but it's like a large walkway up the hill where there's like merchants that set up and that sort of thing, people who sell church wares and holy symbols and that sort of stuff. Typically during the day, it's kind of abandoned at night, where you thought it should have been.
Oh god.
There's still lamp lights that you can see through some of the trees that line this area, glowing on that angelic statue with the pool around it. And as you approach, you can see a small mob that has assembled in the area. And you can see on the edge of the rim of the pool around this statue, two individuals, one holding a sickle, the other a small hammer. And between
Communists!
In my head, I was like, don't make the joke.
Are they wearing red?
All right,
Communist
sorry.
scum detected!
What are they
Oh
holding
yes,
again?
I didn't even think about that. Say what?
What are they holding again? I didn't hear.
One guy's got a sickle, the other
Hammer
guy's
and sickle.
got a forging hammer. I didn't even make that connection, but yes, brilliant. Between them, however, you can see they are holding Magda. And
Oh,
as you're approaching, you recognize, especially Amrita, you see Galliana. She has a sword at her side and is kind of being like distant, held back from this scene. The man with the hammer, as you're approaching, bearded, darker skinned, a little bit, well, he's the one speaking, and you recognize Hannibal Ward just saying, "Look, Galliana, nobody wants this, but there's lots of people talking this. We just need to take her to the church. They'll know what to do. They'll figure out what's going on." And you hear Galliana kind of shouting back, "I can handle this myself. She is my daughter. She is no thrall of a vampire."
Is
Yeah, Amrita, seeing this go down, looks over at Galliana and thinks for a moment, I'm gonna have a talk with that woman afterwards. Hey! And she just yells at the guards, not caring if Acrio's there. Why don't you leave that girl alone?
There are no guards present. These are seemingly townsfolk, men and women, just who have formed kind of an unruly mob and somehow gotten the impression that Magda is possibly working with the vampires in this town. They look toward you when you shout, but they don't really address.
You're really gonna spill more blood for no reason. Too many people have already died.
Hannibal kind of glances down. Look, we're just trying to get her to the church. The church will be able to figure this out.
Is her mother not but a skilled hunter and proficient in these things? Listen to the damn woman. She can handle it, she said.
Out of any one person's hands now. Hannibal will just kind of look to Galliana and say, "This is true. Your own house. What would he think?" And Galliana stands up as straight as she can, drawing her weapon. "Now you've gone too far, Ward."
No. Draw her own weapon just in case.
They're a bunch of innocent villagers!
I'm not gonna attack. I'm preparing because it's bullshit.
Acrio will raise his hand and tell everybody to stop. Hand her over to me, I'll bring her to the church. You're just a couple of civilians, go home.
Make a persuasion check.
Come
But
on.
Galliana's going to be less than easy.
Come on.
Acrio Revito.
I wish I could just
Wielder
intimidate
of
them.
the
Life is so much
something
easier.
hammer.
Hey!
Hey!
It's close.
19.
You will see the townspeople do seem to recognize, obviously, the Kappa Regalia and what you're saying. Galliana, continuing with her sword drawn, moves up in your face. "She did not do this. It's none of the church's business."
Stand down or a lot of people are about to get fucking hurt, Galliana.
"I'll have my daughter back. I swear it."
You'll have...
And she's just going to walk away down the street into the rest of the crowd. The others kind of part slightly for you to approach.
I'm in a different place than this, right, Jake?
What do? I have silver shackles that Lorelei gave me, I think. Who gave me silver shackles?
I did.
Yeah. I'm gonna assume they're not gonna burn Magda, so I can just use them as regular shackles.
That's going to
Only
be a
one way to
really
find out.
unfortunate
Yeah, they're just start
conversation.
burning her, and she's like, ah! And I'm like, wait, what?
Just like,
Sure, vampires should have tasted it.
As you get closer, Hannibal and the other villager just grab onto Magna's wrists, holding them out to you. The girl herself just looking down, kind of glances up. She was always suspicious of letting you know everything that she was involved with, but she just whispers, "It was supposed to be like this."
I walk up, I look at her, I have slight acknowledgement in my eyes, but I look at Hannibal and the villager, and I'm like, when all this is said and done, you have a mighty lot of apologizing to do when she's innocent. Avacyn will see to her truth being shown.
Angels will see to it.
I have one hell of an apology prepared, and I'll put the shackles on.
Hannibal's not witty enough to reply to that. That's not his deal, so we'll just, take with what you say, but remit her to your custody.
I believe, is this Amrita's first time seeing Hannibal?
Didn't you go have dinner with him?
I was going to say, didn't you have lunch with him the other day?
Lunch with him.
Yeah.
Oh, it's been a
after
couple of
investigating-
sessions.
Yeah, investigating the dog that had possibly been sold to him that he actually got for his mother. Yeah, you know exactly who this is.
Awkward now. Oh well.
I'll take Magda. I'll look at Amrita. Motion to the church.
She nods at Acrio and stares back at the civilians, but continues keeping her own weapon at her side.
They seem to follow from a distance as you make your way to the church. Seems to have been where they were trying to get her to begin with until Gallielena realized what was happening. And you are able to make your way up the hill to the cathedral. It's dark. There are torches lit, illumination from within more than anything else. But there doesn't seem to be a huge amount of Cathars or priests in the immediate area outside. Not as many as you would have expected, guarding what is essentially the parish seat for Stinzia.
Do I know of prison cells within the church or holding areas where I could keep?
You wouldn't know in this area, but you would, you could request.
Ask around.
There are people here, just not as many as you would have thought.
Got it. While idly looking for Mr. Tubby. Also, while we're alone, I'm gonna talk to Amrita, and I'm gonna be like, we need a plan to keep Amrita alive, because I didn't think this far. I just got them out of the civilians' hands before people start dying.
To keep me alive, you mean Magda?
Yeah, keep Magda alive.
You said keep Amrita alive.
Oh yeah, keep Magda alive. I'm not worried about you. You probably can't die or something.
This is not fucking good. We need to find the others.
Not good. Can't have her escape the city. Oh, Magda's right there as I'm pulling her along, so she hears this too.
Right. She's just like, don't let them do their truth magic on me.
We gotta figure something out.
Look, I did it to protect people, to protect my mother.
I know you.
You can't fight the vampires.
I know.
You can't fight them.
Villagers need their pound of flesh. Ain't gonna stop till somebody gets retribution for this.
That's gonna be me.
It's gotta be somebody, and I'm gonna try and make it not you, but I can't promise anything.
She'll just hang her head. There'll be a priest there who will show you to what is effectively holding cells. They're designed more with wards for creatures, or kind of with the vain idea that if we ever caught a vampire and had to contain it, or if there were a werewolf, you can see they're not used. They're dusty as hell, and maybe in an ancient time that was more of a thing, but
when we were more
since
competent.
the disappearance of Avacyn, for certain, it's not something they've had to use in a while. Opening up the door, it creaks, and you can just see the dust in the light of the torch just go everywhere. And the priest just motions. Also, you can make a perception check if you were looking for Brother Valentin.
Yeah, Amrita, help. You're good at perception.
Yeah. I will also like to see if he is nearby.
You would have advantage if you're using your sense of smell.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's a
I'm
smelly,
probably-
short guy.
I'm probably still kind of too pissed right now, though, and would like
Sure,
to have a
that's
little
fine.
one said,
Follow the smell of
Yeah.
incense.
Both of you, as you're looking over the heads and faces moving through the sanctuary, the few Cathars with their tricorn hats pulled low, weapons at the ready, several spring sages who had been preparing to bless the fields, now kind of in a weird state where they don't know what to do because this is not, their area of magic, and monster hunting in the streets is problematic. But you don't catch sight or smell of Brother Valentin within the cathedral.
Good. I'm going to sorry, Magda. Put her in the cell. Look to the priest. We're just holding her here for now. Things have gotten rowdy. Once we figure out what to do with her, I'll come find a priest just to have somebody keep an eye on her. Once this calms down, we can figure out what's going on with her.
She will be secure. She won't be moving.
Good. No
I shall inform.
interrogations, don't torture her.
I shall
She's
inform
just-
Bishop Kent, of course.
That's all in my head, but okay. Do as you must. Have a good day. Thank you.
Angels be with you.
You as well. Watch them walk away.
Mhm.
Look at Amrita. We're fucked and we have no time. Brother Valentin isn't here. We gotta break into the office and find something now.
I happen to be good at locks.
Great. Perfect. Let's rush over there now before Magda gets turned to mincemeat, before things start getting caught on fire. Gotta be fast, I think.
Cillian, can I have you roll me a d10 plus 10?
Uh-oh!
That cannot be good.
Jake,
I don't like that look.
Wait, what's that look? Wait,
I don't
wait,
like that
hold-
look, Jake.
Hold
Look
that
at what
look.
he rolled. Look at what he rolled.
I know what he rolled. I don't like that look on Jake. I couldn't see it.
Oh,
The-
God. Or
Cillian,
Avacyn. Oh, Avacyn.
Yeah.
as you have kind of stuck close to the garrison, kind of trusting Amrita and Acrio will kind of handle looking for where they're at the church, and you're kind of still trying to keep an eye on things in this area as you've watched more and more of the guards filter out into the streets, hearing this mob activity, the torches moving through the alleys, casting weird shadows through the streets. The garrison is nearly abandoned. Just a skeleton crew of guards in the area. What exactly would you be doing in this time as you're waiting?
Okay. Kind of two things. I want to keep an eye out if fuck, I forgot his name. The vampire.
Was it Pierce?
Yeah. If he's somewhere staring, I probably won't notice him, but that's what I'm looking for. That
Mhm.
and keeping an eye on people, sort of getting crushed in the crowd, making sure nobody gets hurt. That's kind of what he would be doing.
Sure. Make an insight check for the crowd. See if anyone's a little disoriented and not sure what's going on or being jostled about the way Asuriel has been.
Oh shit.
You see what appears to be a likely a father and his son who's early teens at best, kind of roving the streets with this crowd, but there's a little bit of a moment where kind of this mob convenes not far from the garrison, and as they split off, you see that the child has just been left and he's looking around frantic he doesn't know where his father ended up.
Mm-hmm. I immediately go towards him.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. You lost one.
Where's my dad?
That's right. I saw his dad, right? I know what he looks like.
Yeah.
Right. Come
As you're
with me.
looking, several of the others in this group turn back, and about 6 of them approach you, and one of the men comes up, just like shoves you in the chest. Oi, Vistani, keep away.
Listen, I'm just trying to help. This poor boy's lost his dad. People get hurt during these things. You need to keep an eye on each other, especially the children.
We will.
You can hate me all you want.
Oh,
keep
we
an
do.
eye on each other.
Why are you here? The caravan left. Why are you still here?
I'm not with them. I have my own business. What do you care?
Oh, you're with those investigators, huh? A lot of good
Yeah, I
you've
am.
done us.
You're blaming
Start to
us.
see one of the men lowering a hay fork in your direction. Once you get outside the walls, that's where you like to be, isn't it?
Well, you're right. I do like traveling, although I don't like your town. You just look for his father, all right? Kill me if you want, huh? I don't think you will, because why would you? What did I do? Huh?
See
I've been
a couple of them,
investigating. I've
like-
been trying to help you people, right? I've been looking for these vampires. I've been looking for these werewolves because I want to protect people. But all you people see is blood. Where you come from and where I come from is an honest people.
You see them
You
start to lean over toward each other, kind of like whispering, maybe we should just kill him, sort of situation.
Mhm.
God.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, they fucking snapped him. He's just. Eventually, he will regain, oh fuck, I'm not doing myself any favors here.
One of them will kind of look, an honest people. That's a load of crock. We all know it. What else have you been lying about?
I haven't been lying. The fact that you would believe that really hurts me deep down. But, I understand why you feel this way. A lot of people do.
As you say, it kind of hurts you deep down. One of them, you see, pick up a rock off the street and just kind of toss it. Sticks and stones.
My mom. I kind of turn to the boy. I say, I'm sorry. I hope you find him.
Why did I go have to
You
break down?
you just
Damn
kind
it,
of like,
everything's going to shit.
you should probably leave.
Yeah, I know. That's why I turned to you. Have a good life, eh? And fuck you guys. And I run. I run, making sure to sort of stick to the roofs once I break from their vision.
Sure. Asuriel, go ahead and make another perception check.
Perception or investigation?
Or perception this time, as you're just kind of being jostled
Alright.
through the crowd might catch sight of something.
E.
And finally you do. You almost missed it because everything is dark, but just that little bit of blue coloration in one of the alleys stuck out to you, with kind of this pale white hand as she's kind of like clutching her face, and you just from that recognize Lorelei.
She's gonna go over and put her hand on her shoulder, like, Lorelei?
She instinctively just swats her away and then realizes, where's everyone?
Cillian's still at the guardhouse, and I think Amrita and Acrio went to the church to see if that flower shop man was still there. But the the crowd in the town's getting really rowdy. I don't know what's going on. They're just really angry.
They have every right to be. Look, just don't let go of my hand, okay?
Yeah.
Let's just go. Let's just go. And hopefully we find one of them, and hopefully they're still here and they haven't left as well. Let's just go, shall we? And like shakily, she'll just grab Asuriel's hand and start pulling her along.
She will let herself be dragged along.
Amrita, as you open the doors to the sanctuary, the pews are completely empty. There's a few small candles burning. This place is very still, serene compared to everything that's happening outside. You see the pipe organ on the right-hand side, next to where you know Valentin's office is located.
She's going to look around first to make sure there is nobody else in here besides her and Acrio before going to unlock the door.
Mm-hmm. Are you keeping your third eye covered, or are you going to utilize that?
I will go ahead and utilize it.
And I'll keep the priest away.
I'll say you don't even need to roll for perception using this other intelligence aiding you and your animalistic eyes cutting through the dark. Your ears don't pick up anything other than muffled footsteps outside of the sanctuary. This room in particular seems dead silent.
I don't see anyone. Everybody must be outside.
I don't know where they went, but right. Fuck!
I'm gonna see if I can unlock this door. Give me a second.
Yeah, just quick as you can. I'll slap a guidance on her.
Go ahead and make a Thieves' Tools check with dexterity and a plus 4.
I'm gonna give. Okay, if I give her a hero point and my guidance.
I don't know that I'm going to do transferable hero points, but she does have her own.
Okay. So she still gets a 1d4.
What's the hero point again?
D6.
It's a D6, which you should have on your character sheet. You can add one and then just click it, and it will roll.
I don't
So
know.
it's an 11 right now.
It's under your personality traits and such like that.
I do not have
there it
one,
is. Yeah.
so I'm just going to roll it myself.
So
Cool.
15.
So with a 15, your adrenaline is racing. It's difficult to keep your fingers from jittering. In the first couple attempts to get this lock, you feel like you're just about to break the pick. It's not going well, but with this calm and focusing sense of angelic magics being channeled through Acrio to you, finally you hear the click and the door comes open just a crack.
Got it.
Good job, Maria. I pushed the door open and shoved the 7'8" woman through, closed the door behind us. the 80'9" woman through the door.
Party hard.
Yeah,
Yeah,
hit your head on the
now,
way through.
yes. Now, does it look like anyone has been in here recently?
Traps trigger, alarms go off. All the lights, all the candles turn red.
Oh,
Wait,
fuck.
wait,
Yep.
wait. Why is that a battle map? Oh, fuck.
Oh,
my
fuck. Yep.
I don't believe there's any light source in this room. Acrio, you are basically blinded as soon as the door is shut.
Oh, yeah, I have a lantern. I'll light my lantern.
You find the
Right.
small room. There's a desk onto the left-hand side, a table with some chairs, papers strewn about, a couple trunks. You see the bed where the priest occasionally makes his quarters, as well as a fireplace on the north wall. As soon as the lantern is lit, all of this kind of comes into view. Amrita had seen all of this. There's also a shelf of books against the opposite walls of the fireplace, which you had seen when he was researching for the task you had given him, kind of like pouring through some of that.
Okay, we're looking for tips, for evidence, anything. Just start looking through everything, try and leave it in the same way you found it, but...
Yeah, hopefully we don't trigger anything.
Yeah, hopefully we don't trigger anything. Not like traps exist or anything. I definitely don't know about that. Let's just start searching the room. Investigation.
You can both make investigation checks, yes.
All right.
Are you good at that, Amrita? Hopefully you are.
Yeah, I'm proficient in it.
Okay,
And my eyes unveiled.
I'm gonna help her. Oh wait, she already gets advantage.
Are you proficient in that, Acrio?
I'm not.
Okay, so you actually can't help someone
I got a
unless
15.
you are also proficient in the skill.
Got it.
That way you can't just be like, I help everyone with everything.
Yeah.
You have
I'm
to be
good.
someone who's
helping.
trained in it to be like, here's how you do it.
Do you get advantage, Amrita?
No, that's only with wisdom. Or
Well-
perception.
Perception checks with the eye. Investigation is a little different. Amrita, the only thing you find as you're kind of scouring this area, you smell the burned out fireplace that has lit this room and kept it warm, and you go and search the area. You find more than just kindling and ash of logs in the fireplace. There's something else that's been burned. It's fairly completely destroyed.
That fucker.
Unfortunately, you can't tell exactly what it was, but something has been disposed of.
Amrita
Acrio-
starts to dig through it, and she's like, fuck.
As I said, it's completely ash. You find layers of something that had burned, but they're too destroyed. There's no documents. There's no, I would say, at best, you can see maybe before moving it, what had been like cloth. But it's hard to tell exactly because it's ash. It's completely burned. However, Acrio, as you kind of like look through some of the books, look on the table, looking for anything, you find a slip of paper that had fallen and gone under one of the chairs.
Ooh.
Probably just from his lover.
Yeah, this is just like a heavily coded love letter, right?
Fuck.
That.
I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna hand Amrita the letter. I'm gonna throw open the door, and I'm just gonna start running because we're done here.
It's not exactly a letter, but it is some musings that had been scrawled down.
And she quickly puts it in her pocket in case they need it, and rushes back after him.
Being
Because she's
slightly
probably faster
than
him.
Acrio, yeah.
Yeah.
Catch up pretty quickly as he bolts through the halls of the cathedral, heading back onto the street.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm gonna be at the front, just fucking barreling people out of the way, trying to find Werther and the party.
Cillian, go ahead and roll a perception check.
Perception.
In that case, roll another d10 plus 10.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, fuck.
No! You're
As
rolling
you're
up the
observing from the rooftops, looking for anyone you recognize, just a sea of faces and torchlight and glints of weaponry, tools and such that have been kind of like turned into weapons for this night.
Hey, fuck at you!
So you catch sight of Ricardo, the kind of disheveled man that you had spotted the other day. He doesn't see you from your rooftop perch, kind of like on the edge of these clay tiles. But you can see as he's moving through the crowd, you would see that he's kind of leading a procession with a torch in hand where two people have these pitchforks that are skewered into the side of this dog. Kind of a husky looking, doesn't look like Talbot per se, but it's kind of a wolf-like dog that they have kind of held aloft as they're parading it through the street as some sign of wolf-ish thing that they have killed.
I killed a dog.
They've all got to go.
Cillian,
use,
you go down there and
message.
you kill them all.
No, because self-preservation. But he will use message to, in Ricardo's ears, just sort of do a dog crying, but from all these different ghostly voices. So
Kind of this braying,
Nice.
barking. Make an intimidation check.
That's something I'm decent at. Intimidation. Well, sort of.
Not bad, not bad.
In the state of things, he almost seems mad compared to the rest of them as he just starts shouting about the barking and the dogs and everything. You see him trip, almost lighting himself on fire with his torch, having to brush it out as he's not necessarily, he's freaked out, but mostly he just looks mad to the people around him.
Okay.
Oh, he's not
Unfortunately,
mad.
I lost.
He looks mad.
This kind
Did
of
they
mad.
try to?
Like crazy mad.
Crazy mad. Did the
Yeah.
people try to pursue me? Oh, fuck.
No, the ones that you had run from, no, they went about their business.
Okay, cool. In that case, I would probably just, without interfering with the crowd in any way, because fuck that, he'll try to move towards the church, because that's where I knew Acrio and Amrita were headed, right?
And by now you see the pair of them just bolting down the hill.
Body
barreling at
checking.
top speed, just like clanking armor and swift movements with this kind of tattered red cloak trailing
Okay.
behind Amrita.
Cool. I'll be following, but keeping the high perspective. Make sure they're not running towards something that might stop them or run into a crowd they don't want to be in, or run into Ricardo. And if that is the case, I'll send a message to Amrita.
Lorelei and Asuriel, were you also making your way to the church, or just kind of generally looking for everyone else? What was your...
Lorelei's gonna go both towards the church and also just to like any kind of like higher ground, like any kind of elevation, and she will pull. Fine, I probably shouldn't. I'll get myself killed with this, but I'll take my dagger and cast light on it and just like hold it up as both like just my own light source, and also because her light is like a kind of distinctive like grayish tint that if any of the party are trying to find them.
Oh hey, depression in the distance.
There it is.
The depresso symbol.
The depressive symbol.
God.
The sad man symbol.
The signal, yes, signals everyone in Corsiva. Then I would say
They're back.
pretty much everybody will catch sight of that sooner or later. Cillian, especially from his high vantage point, will be probably the first to spot it.
Okay, then I'll send a message to Lorelei. This creepy kid voice just says, it gives directions.
Like, there's a police witches. I don't like that.
The head, is that you?
Down the street, to the left, 2 stories up.
How are the spirits acting at this point in time?
The ones that are generally around you, or the ones that you can kind of spot in Corsiva?
Bit of both, I guess. Like, are the spirits I'm seeing aware of things happening around them? That's pretty much what I want.
Make an Arcana check.
12s.
The ones that kind of are tethered to your existence are not overly frantic, just kind of normal. They can tell that you're upset, it sounds like. Reigen kind of... You find a feel his hand on your shoulder at times. The other Geists of Corsiva seem to almost be feeding on the madness. That's the best you can get.
Okay. Yeah, that's sort of what I wanted to know. Okay, thanks.
That can only be good.
Acrio and Amrita, where exactly are you headed at this point as you make your way into the streets and the township proper?
Running
of
accidentally
Corsiva?
body check Lorelei into the ground.
Thinking that, I'm like, we are going to end up colliding.
I would like to see if, or Amrita is trying to see if I can pinpoint where either Werther is or Brother Valentin, possibly both.
Yeah. I'll relay to the party that Brother Valentin's been riling up the entire city and us this entire fucking time. Show him the letter.
Well, eventually,
it's more just
you hear
it's a
voice above you.
scrap of paper with some scrawled musings on it, more than a letter.
Not letter.
Everyone can
Sorry.
Here, somebody look at it as we go. We don't have time for this shit. And I start running.
Yeah.
Amrita starts running.
To where?
Yes, go. I don't know, just fucking somewhere.
Just
Is there a way
away
to
from the church
track?
at this moment.
Is there a way
Okay.
to track, or like she stops and tracks?
The town center where they were gonna execute that
Ludo.
other werewolf. They
Ludo, yeah.
might be bringing Werther there.
All right, yep, go there. I'm gonna see if smell or like look for any familiar tracks of people leading that way.
Tracks are really difficult now because there's always foot traffic in a major city, and especially now with everybody out on the streets, everything's fresh, everything is disturbed. That dais with the stocks with kind of the silver around the neck and the arm holes is still just kind of laying there smashed, although the silver has been collected at this point. It's too valuable to just leave out, but the dais is still there, the other wood. You see people kind of like move through the area, but it doesn't look when you get there as if anybody's like being brought there specifically.
Where
I,
would he be?
Turn to Reagan and I say, try to find Valentin in any way, please.
I'll do what I can. Things are crazy in this realm too.
Yeah, that's sort of what I'm getting.
It's turning black.
Be careful.
I'll be back. I would like everyone to make a perception check, please.
Oh boy.
Kind of as a group check.
Oh, Alien, I'm good at that.
All right, so just regular then.
Hey.
That's
No,
That's
you would
good.
have advantage on this as well, Amrita.
I don't think
Well,
she
hey.
needs that. I don't think she needs that.
Yeah,
she doesn't
no.
need
Sorry,
that.
sorry, Asuriel. I seem to have knocked you off any kind of. I'm just dragging you along.
It's fine. She's probably like hiding her face in Lorelei's cloak at this point. Like, oh, why is everyone being scary?
Damn, that's a lot of high numbers.
Yeah. So you guys can hear over shouts in the crowd, over the boots and the shattering glass in the moments, the sounds of dogs barking. A fair number of them. Doesn't sound like wolves, but it is coming from the kind of southern, eastern side of the city, and it sounds far enough away that it's not likely within the walls.
Oh, it's crazy red man. I forget his name. Red? Was it
It
crazy
does
red?
seem to be in the direction of Odd Red's little encampment,
Red.
little cottage.
Sorry, crazy reds from Animal Crossing.
Anyway. They're outside the walls. They must have gone out.
Can I hear above you? Maybe we should dip anyway. It's not like we can expose Valentin. The people will be on his side. we've got a satisfying answer, but
Now there's 2 fucking lives at risk, Cillian. And Rita's gonna sort of. Is there a wall nearby?
You're in the center of the town.
Oh.
You went to the town square,
Okay,
basically.
she's gonna grab him by his shirt and just. You're the only fucking other person that knew where William and where they were, and now on top of that, we gotta fucking worry about Magda. She
I
lets him go.
understand.
Oh yeah, we forgot
At
to
some
mention
point, you gotta
Magda.
think about yourself. Oh yeah, sorry. Right, Magda, what's up?
Oh yeah, she's in prison. They figured out that she's a vampire thrall, or they think that she is.
All right, I can get her out.
Yeah, but if you get her out, they're gonna know she's suspicious. She lives here. She can't just run away.
I know
I
you
know
said to
you're
dip,
right,
but unless we catch Valentin, there is no way we can quell this. If we leave, they're just going to rile themselves up, and they're only going to make this worse.
But
if we go and get Valentin, we at least have a shot at convincing them.
Okay.
No, we don't.
Valentin
I won't
isn't
be able
in
to
the
convince
wrong.
a mob.
You don't have to convince them. You don't
Who
have to do
does that?
anything.
You think? How do you envision this then?
Maybe with something going well. If William
Nothing is going to go well. At some point, you have to cut your fucking losses. Huh? Someone tried to kill me just now because of who I am. And they will try to kill you because of who you are. We need to fucking dip. I don't have a plan because if we catch Valentin, that's a big if. Huh? What's he gonna say? What are we gonna say? The people will be on his side. There's nothing to do here. We can try and get Magda out. Because otherwise, they will use fucking magic or anything and they will discover the truth and she's fucking dead anyway. You can try and find Werther, try and free him, and maybe we can get out with him. But that's all. There's no good ending. Not right now.
Maybe we can get Magda's help to get her daughter out.
You mean Galliana?
Magda is the daughter of Galliana's.
Magda to get herself out. Can we get Magda to help herself?
Hey, will you help us?
That makes sense. I will do my best. I'm sorry for implying that I don't care, because I do. I can be on Team Magda. You guys can try and find Werther. Yeah.
Cillian. Are you gonna be okay?
After this, probably not.
If you're gonna go
But
and be on Team Magda, are you gonna be okay if you go on your own?
yes, I will find Galliana.
I'll give him
Maybe I
should
come with
communication
you.
within the prison.
Any
Oh,
sign of
sure.
trouble, I want you to come right back, okay?
Thraben is north of this, right?
Quite a ways.
convene-
The next town north you would know,
Yeah.
or you would believe is Gulst.
Mm-hmm. But our plan, if we were to travel from Korsva, would be north then, right?
Yeah.
All right. We meet up north. Get out. It's what Per said as well. We need to get out as soon as possible. We'll try to save those we care about, but it didn't seem to be working. We'll do our best.
And if we need to cut our losses, I'm not letting anyone else go off on their own. Do you understand me, Cillian? I've already watched William fly away into the fucking night. I am not going to watch someone else run off, okay? So unless I can trust that I'm going to see you by the end of the day, you're not going anywhere.
I convinced her to tell us. I need to try.
You just said people tried to kill you. Let someone come with you at least.
Fine, I'll
Sure.
fucking do it.
I'll go with him. Amrita, you need to track down Valentin.
Valentin and or Werther.
And or
Reagan is
Werther.
on it as well.
You
You're
guys
the best
just gonna
tracker
leave
we have,
Odd
Amrita.
Red to his fate.
Well, are we shouldn't have going
yeah.
that way? I thought we
Yeah.
were going that way. Like, I
Yeah,
assumed like we were
we're-
gonna
Oh,
go.
are
They
you?
were gonna go follow
Yeah,
the
yeah.
sound of the dogs because that's probably they're alerted to something outside the walls. Am I right?
Yeah.
in
Right,
that?
well,
Am I-
it's
That's-
yeah, but it sounded like you were like gonna go back to the church
Oh,
to bring it
well,
back at first.
no,
so I'm
I
just
don't
trying
wanna-
to figure out
Well,
what
No,
the actual
eventually.
We're
I
doing-
was assuming this was sort of walking towards the
Oh.
sound we were hearing.
Oh,
Sure,
okay.
yeah, if you're going that
What-
way. Here's the thing, you know his place is a little ways off. You can book it, or you might have to like steal some
Yeah.
horses.
You know what? Actually,
Hey.
fuck no. Cillian wouldn't care about Odd Red. He'll probably move towards me now.
Lorelei will go with him.
No, you
She does
never
not trust.
split
She
the
does not trust
party.
letting someone else run off on their own.
Maybe
Birds in the
Asuriel and
back.
Acrio go for Odd Red. And
What?
Amrita, I'm not sure what she's doing.
I don't need you. Amrita is good at looking for people.
Savage.
Alone.
Yeah, she just
I'm chaotic evil.
before they officially split off though, she just stares at Lorelei and stares at Cillian and says nothing and starts running to go track the people down, but it's clearly
we
Are
need,
you guys just gonna run for it, or
we need our party dog to smell out.
yes.
Yeah, we need the bloodhound.
Wait, where are we heading for?
We're heading out to the
Um,
woods to probably where the dogs were barking, so we can track
Yeah, because
there.
like
Yes.
immediately outside Corsiva is like fields, so if they were going to assemble, they'd assemble there. But
Yes.
besides
yeah.
that, we're running to Red.
Yeah.
but I'm asking, are you just doing that on foot and hoping you get there in time, or are you that'll
Right.
make you
Where
faster?
are the nearest stables? Where are the nearest
grab,
stables?
We'll grab my cart on the way.
Oh yeah, you have a cart. Never mind.
Okay.
Get in,
So,
losers.
as you're heading that direction toward your cart, you actually do see a few people who are like poking at the edges and like trying to lift up the tarp to see what you've got in there.
I'll grab one of them by the shirt, tell them that they're interfering with Cathar business, shove them off, get the cart to get ready to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, stumble back and the two of them head off. The mules are
Fucking thieves.
surprisingly anxious to move, but I need you to make an animal handling check to try to like
Yeah.
get them to move at
Hey.
breakneck speed.
I can throw a guidance on there, I guess. I
Sure.
think. 16.
You know.
Mhm.
Yeah!
Asuriel, you're used to riding in the back of this cart. However, not at these speeds. It's pretty
Jennifer?
bumpy. Just trying to hold on. Acrio, as he's channeling this just brief moment of calm to focus and get these mules moving. As I said, they've been standing around for a while this past few days and are relatively anxious to be on the move. But he gets them going fast, like they're in a gallop through the streets. The walls of the city, the gates, are just completely flung open. There's a few people guarding them who try to like stop you, but you just barrel past them and they duck out of the side to get out of the way. Lorelei and Cillian, you're making your way back to the church, or are you trying to find Galliana?
Galliana's. Oh, I'm
Find
stupid.
no, you, directly to the church. Yeah.
Okay.
No, would her shop be at least sort of on the way?
Yeah.
Uh,
Is it
it's
not like a
actually-
huge?
It's actually right in the town square, where you had started from, and you can see it's dark. There was nobody there.
No, that's what I would assume, but it would
Yeah.
be foolish not to at least swing past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then directly to the church because
Yeah.
no tracker, have no idea where she would be.
Just huff it.
The fitness
First,
gram
I'm gonna,
pacer test.
I'm gonna roll something real quick.
Uh-oh.
That's not almost.
Hey, what if you don't?
Cillian and Lorelei, unfortunately, there is no sign of Galliana as you're moving through the streets in the direction of the church. wherever she has gotten off to, you don't cross her path.
Okay. That's too bad.
Straight to
but fine.
Magdalene.
We also keep an eye out for anything Werther related or anything Valentin related.
Was it adjacent business?
Yeah, exactly. But eventually we just get to the church. I'm taking detours. I'm not mingling with crowds.
So it takes a little longer, but
Yeah.
the caution is likely worth it. Moving down side alleys and that sort of thing. Doing your best to remain unseen. I would say your passive stealth is likely enough to do that, even going quickly. And you pass, whether under or around, if you're trying to stay out of the way, the wings of this gigantic angelic statue on your way to the church. There are a handful of Cathars guarding at the cathedral, several priests milling about. How are you trying to make your way in?
I presume, this is something I presume, not something I did, so you tell me, that I got some information from Acrio about where and how.
Very specifically, yeah, he gave directions to the holding cells.
I wouldn't know the church that well, though, right?
You've been, I think, the one time for the service,
Yeah.
which I think was the day prior. So yeah, no, you're not intimately familiar, and neither is Lorelei. Like, she's been a couple times, but never to the point of trying to pay attention to the layout or entrances and exits, that sort of thing. Having lived in the woods for most of her life, or almost half her life, it's not really something she looks for.
Yeah.
Okay, then just try and find a side window, sneak in.
Okay. Unfortunately, the windows of this building are by and large stained glass, and they are solid, built in with iron bars worked into it. Bits of silver, in fact, as well, kind of in the filigree, but nothing that can be opened. You could potentially smash a window if you wanted, but there's nothing that
Okay.
there's nothing that's going to
So
let you
there's-
just open it up.
There's a pretty big main entrance with some guards and some priests.
Yeah. They go ahead and make an investigation check for potentially a side or rear entrance somewhere, but
yeah, that's what I'm looking for, I guess. But
yeah,
we'll
windows
see
are not
how-
going to be an option, but there may be other doors. Is Lorelei doing that as well, or is she just following behind Cillian, relying on his?
She's keeping an eye on the Cathars to make sure that they aren't looking directly at them, and if it seems that the jig might be up, she'll go and try and distract them and try and give Cillian an opening. But otherwise, she's following behind him.
If you've made your way kind of through a roundabout direction, they don't seem to have recognized. It is dark a ways away from the church. Outside, the ambient light coming from inside and the torches that have been set up in front. As you're making your way around, you're in pretty dense darkness, kind of having to skirt it yourselves just so you can see. There's no sign of any obvious door that would be easily accessed as you're making your way around.
Okay, then here's is there sort of a group of people kind of nearby? The main
What kind of
entrance,
people?
like mob people, mobby people.
Minecraft mobs.
Yes, there is.
Okay, then. Okay, what is he gonna say? I'm gonna use message on one of them. I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm gonna rile them up by giving them ghostly, I am here, look behind you, and another one do a werewolf howl, and another one let's rile them up, create spectacle,
hysteria,
so that the guards might move in, and we can use that opportunity to go inside.
Good thinking.
Okay. Let's make a deception check for this. They're, they're ghosts, but they are kind of trying to make a scene more than they are being actually scary.
Sure.
But people are afraid of ghosts. Geists are not their friends, generally. It is enough panic created that the guards are obliged to do something about it.
Which is interesting because Lorelei, you're kind of next to him now. He's doing that. No one's really been next to him. He's sort of like actually like talking to someone, like say this, and then sending them on their way. It's a pretty physical thing almost.
And the way message works, a lot of times you whisper something, but you whisper it into the ethereal. So your mouth moves, but there's no sound produced on the physical world. So to her, it would almost seem like your mouth is just moving at times, but it kind of wavers in and out of saying a few words, in real life, and other whispers that just go into the ethereal.
Yeah, most go into the ethereal. Some do like sort of come through. It's kind of like a half thingy.
Lorelei's unnerved.
Yeah, Lorelei, you can, as that's happening, even without intentionally reaching out with your eyes of the grave, you can start to feel the undead presences moving around and out from Cillian. But the guards start to move, and you have your opening.
Yeah.
Right, go. Push Cillian ahead of me. Go. Following
I need you both to make stealth checks, please.
Oh god.
Don't fail. No pressure.
No,
Bravo.
shut up. I have inspiration. Can I reroll that? I do not know.
That's funny.
Cillian's invisible.
Why does this happen enough times for me to notice?
So, as you've shoved Cillian ahead, and he very quickly and silently bolts, ducking inside the door, you're trying to make your way, but you're still unnerved by that undead feeling. It's like fingers crawling on your skin, and it's enough to distract you, where a few of the guards start to notice you moving toward the door, and just like, "Oi, Fenwick!"
Sorry. I'm just looking for shelter. I'm injured.
They'll kind of approach, look at you. Are you actually injured?
She's gonna she's gonna just like begin to flash the scars on her arm of like a name, like not all of it, but she looks like she's like holding like a wound.
I mean, that's not a current injury. Make a deception check.
Yeah.
Just like fucking stabs herself in the
To make it
chest.
look that makes it look like it's like maybe a broken arm. I don't know.
Wasn't she injured by the spiders at all?
No.
Oh.
I was. No.
Spiders couldn't do crap.
Yeah, spiders
Spiders
can do
do
shit.
shit.
They rolled
Where was that with the stealth,
exclusively
Lorelei?
the same number as their legs. He's doesn't pay too much attention to the actual wound that you're supposedly showing him, but he knows who you are enough from your past in the city, especially on nights like this. All right, follow me.
Okay, thank you.
And Cillian, you can see as Ekathar leads Lorelei into the building somewhere.
I'm gonna trust the process and trust that she knows what she's doing and just go off on my own.
Cool.
Because
I'm
I'm an
glad you
asshole.
trust the process because I fucking don't.
Hey, it's part of the process.
And I'm just gonna try and make my way to the holding cells.
Make a survival check as you're trying to find your way, following the directions without bumping into anyone.
Oh my god, that's two in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Buy a lottery ticket, man.
Holy shit.
Yeah. With some kind of luck on your side, you follow what Acrio said exactly, almost instinctually, almost like things around you are guiding you, whispering to you the directions. And yeah, you come upon a row of doors, tightly barred and sealed. You can see evidence of glyphs that have been carved into them, other wards like that. But they're in a fair amount of, not disrepair, but disuse, certainly.
Okay, unguarded?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll make my way across all of them.
Mhm.
Try and look in. Or are they like flush doors?
They are completely, solid. There's no barred window, but Acrio did tell you which one. It would have been like the second door.
Okay. I'm gonna say anyway, is anyone here? Especially with the other doors, to make sure no one else is in one of these holding cells.
Interesting. So you start to hear movement inside of one of them. Can you give me a perception check?
Perception. That's good.
It's muffled. This door is heavy and not entirely soundproof, but fairly. But you hear almost a stifled, half sobbing voice, just being like, "Who's there?" And it sounds like Werther.
Okay.
Nice.
I'm gonna tell you to come back for you. I'm here. I'm trying to get you out. I'm going to try and get out of the city. It's not going to be easy. It might not work, but I'm here for you. I'll come back. And then I'll move towards Magda's door. Magda, you here?
It's difficult to know for sure if what sounded like Werther can even hear you with as thick as the doors were. He may have gotten some of that. It's hard to say.
Mm-hmm.
But moving up to Magda's door, she kind of pauses for a moment. Is that Vistani? Cillian?
Yes? Okay. I can't... I'm gonna switch to message to make sure she can hear me. It's gonna sound creepy. It's still me. Listen to me. You can talk back this way. I'm trying to get you out. It's not gonna be a certain thing. You're definitely gonna have to leave the city, and I'm not sure if you can see your mom. But we can try and get out.
Okay. Yeah, these doors are not thick enough to block message.
Oh, that's
and
interesting.
she replies, which, yeah, because certain an amount of thickness can block it from going through. The ghostly voice comes back to you, hesitant, and says, she says she can't leave without her mother, and she won't leave. It's not worth it.
Sort of what I was afraid of. Right. I'm gonna go to Werther's door first. And I'm gonna try and unlock it. No more thieves' tools?
Yes. Are you doing anything else?
I'll send a message
Okay.
to him. I'm opening the door. Maybe stand back. And I'm gonna listen in if anyone's coming.
Sure.
Oh, I'm rolling like a fucking god.
Just take all my luck. You just take it. Just take it.
Yeah.
You stole Robin's luck.
I don't
Because-
care. Have it.
Fortunately, DC 20, had you failed, there was a glyph of warding on these doors that would have gone off. And you nearly do set it off as you start to see like these symbols going out from the lock. But quickly go back from that and just have to work your way around. It takes longer than you would have liked. Blood is racing in your veins, listening for any possible footsteps before you hear the click
I am.
As soon as you
amazing.
do, the door pushes into you as Werther's stumbling out, disheveled, just in kind of this very loose white shirt and his trousers. He's got one shoe on at this point. Hair is long and ragged, not pulled back anymore.
Hello? We're gonna try and escape. Wait here, and
Do you know where
Me too.
William went? Do you know where he would have went?
I think so. Later, okay? Later.
Okay. Yes, let's
Stay
go.
still. Can you? Okay, are you here? Are you with me? Can you do something?
Who are you asking?
Werther.
Okay, I just want to make sure you weren't talking to a geist.
Yeah, it is confusing.
He's out of it for a bit, but he's got his spectacles, which are kind of like dented. They're not broke, but one of the arms is kind of dent. He kind of pushes them up, wipes his face. What is it?
Just go up the hall, listen if anyone's coming, warn me if they do.
Okay, I can do that.
Okay. Now, I know about the glyph of warding now, and he kind of hits himself over the head. There's nothing I can do to try and disable that, right?
Not without some magical abilities of your own.
Yeah, exactly. He feels guilty. He's gonna try. Making sure where there is a way. Listening further up the hall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he'll kick his other shoe off, sneak up in just his socks toward the edge of the staircase, still partially in view. You see him kind of like peeking around, kind of this upward curving staircase, so he won't be in immediate view, but he's close enough to hear anything potentially coming.
Okay. Goes cross-legged for a moment, kind of meditating for a second, making sure all the nerves are out of his body, opening his eyes, looking to the lock, knowing it's the same tap he's just done. And he'll try again.
Nice knowing ya.
That's cool. I'm going to use my inspiration.
Oh my god.
Yeah, baby!
Purging yourself of the nerves and kind of like flexing your fingers, preparing, taking a deep breath. You very swiftly go through this lock, and just as the edges of the glyph begin to glow, you get it to unlock before anything happens.
Smack down there?
Mm-hmm.
I heard what you said, and I don't blame you. I'm just making sure the door is open. She might come for you. I hope she does. I'm gonna give you one chance. Please come with me. You might come out on top. If you don't want to, that's all right. I've done my best.
Firstly, I need you to make a persuasion check, and she will just lean in the doorway as it's open and say, "How's it so easy for you to just give up your home?"
That's okay. He's gonna say back, I was sort of forced out of my home, and I miss it every day. So I wait for your mom. Hope she comes. Leave the door tiny bit open. Pray that she's there. Trust her and be honest with her. She will still love you.
I know, I just don't know if she'll understand. Thank you. Just... thank you for everything.
Survive, please. For Cormac. And I turn away, and I'll send a message trying to find Lorelei anywhere above me, saying, big fucking distraction right now.
As a priest is going to look and kind of pull the bandages off your arm, kind of checking to see if anything is broken, just kind of like, well, these scars are pretty old. I'm not seeing any current injuries. Where exactly is the pain coming from?
Do I get the message?
Yeah.
She is going to, she's gonna just like wince at what it is she's about to do and be like, killing you fucking owe me. And she is going to just start like screaming and crying with like absolute grief. She is just gonna sob like loudly, like like she just watched her whole family die again.
So Cillian, the way message works, receives back in this old gaslight voice.
Oh yeah, Lorelei doesn't know how to
And then you just hear this burst of screaming, wailing, a cacophony of despair.
Cillian looks like a proud mother hen.
Nice.
Okay, and he'll just say to Werther, all right, we're gonna sneak out, and then we're gonna move north through the city, and we're gonna wait outside, try and hide, okay? Stay close to me, stick to the shadows, don't make any unnecessary noise, don't pay attention to what's around you, just pay attention to me and where you're walking, all right?
Eyes on you. Got it.
That fat ass.
Okay, and I'll try to sneak out.
Okay. Make a stealth check, and with advantage, due to everyone being kind of rushing toward the sound of this screaming.
Lorelei is screaming for she hates that she hates that she's doing this. She's just screaming like, Lars, why? She's just letting that out that's been pent up for a long time.
Wow, that's a low blow.
It's not. I'm sure it's what he would have wanted.
Lars like holding his hands to his ears as he hears every second of it.
Like in the graph, like, fucking shut up.
It's enough to wake the dead. But
Ah, shit.
Cillian and Werther slink out the gates around the side of the cathedral, moving toward the wall and kind of along the darkened areas next to it where there really isn't there isn't any light, any sign of commotion, moving toward the gates, just with the hope that perhaps the northern gate is unguarded or at least unlocked. Meanwhile, Acrio is just lashing the mules, getting them to move as quickly as possible down the path. It's fairly open, grazing plains toward the edge of the Sumberwald forest, where not very deep in. Oddrid has his cottage. Asuriel and Amrita both trying to hang on for dear life in the back of this cart that's very likely going to lose a wheel at some point.
I'll fix it later. We'll fix it later.
We'll fix it in post.
Yeah.
Ooh. And just as you reach kind of the edge of the Sumberwald, getting into the tree line, your cart shifts, hitting a rock, slamming against one of the trees, and the hub comes off, splintering, and the two of you in the back feel as it tips sideways, hits the ground, the mule's just like coming to a sudden stop, and you were thrown off the side. You're maybe 100 feet from You're about 100 feet from Red's shack as you're hearing these dogs barking, and you can see pinpoints of light through the trees.
Cool. Agrio's made for this. He literally just hops off, grabs the wheel, slams it against the side of the cart, lifts it up, casts mending on it, gets back in the cart. Maybe
I mean,
with
you're like
some help
100.
of Amrita.
You're only like 100 feet away.
Oh yeah. Okay, let's just fucking run for it.
Yeah.
Like, you'd start the mending process, but it's gonna take a little bit to do that.
Oh, mending takes
Prepare the
time.
getaway
I
van.
Yeah,
forgot.
it takes time.
I forgot mending takes time.
I mean, even if it's an action, there's more than one thing to
Alright.
fix. You can do it, but you're
Yeah.
close enough that on foot it's not going to be
I forget
too
that,
difficult.
like 30, 60, 100. Okay, yeah.
Most of the trees in the Sumberwold are evergreens, pines, and spruces. As you weave your way down the path that Red has cut through this area, between the trees, you start to see about half dozen, maybe a few less, individuals, all being swarmed by these dogs, some of which have been, pulling people to the ground. They're like swinging torches in their face. Meanwhile, Red is up against the side of his cabin, just like screaming at the top of his lungs, like, "Heal! Heal, damn it!"
Wait, are they townsfolk? Are they townsfolk people that are being attacked by his dogs?
That's what it looks like.
Oh, no.
I need the three of you to roll initiative.
Hey!
Oh, Nelly.
Oh no, lady.
No puppies! I don't want to kill the puppy!
Well, Laura, what's your name again?
Laura.
Real?
Asuriel. Well, Asuriel, you're not gonna have a goddamn choice.
I mean, it's Innistrad. We were bound to murder animals at some point.
Oh shit.
Puppy!
That's 20.
I can't kill people. That's why I have a hammer and not a sword. Until I get
Oh yeah, the
Blaze
hammer
Wrath.
definitely won't kill someone if you smash them upside the head with it.
Very
Yeah.
gentle weapon.
The
Gently
800-pound
caress.
block of metal won't kill them.
At that point, I'd rather get stabbed.
Yeah, bleed out or have your head bashed
Cave
in. Yeah.
First of all, as you're approaching, you see these villagers swinging torches, two of them with pitchforks, one with a sickle. Two of these dogs are hit, bloodied by fire, and one of the sickles that goes into it. The others are struggling, unable to do anything, unable to really connect in their desperation to almost get away from this situation, but at the same time fueled by a determination of what they believe is going on out here. Asuriel, you're up.
Skin, how many sorcery points does she have left? None. She has nothing. That's not good.
I mean, you have your ability to do your
yes.
meta font of magic.
Yeah, she's gonna do a font of magic, and then cast fairy fire on some doggos.
Brutal.
Draw out the cube where that is going to land, as running up behind Acrio and Amrita, who's kind of like leading with her speed and long legs. You kind of feel this bright light behind you, and glancing back, Asuriel's eyes, her mouth, everything is just like glows brightly, white light. Just for a moment, as she kind of like reaches out a hand, and this shower of almost like sparks or fireflies or something shimmers down and lands on some of these animals and townspeople.
Yeah, it's just the three dogs we can see first.
And
Well, two of those fail.
yes,
So they They are now glowing. Probably like silver light? Yeah.
Yes. What's your spell save DC?
It is 14.
So, this townsperson also fails.
Whoops. And that will be it.
So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dogs.
There's actually 6.
Oh.
You may not. I don't know if you can see.
Oh,
from there,
I see it now. Never mind.
Yeah.
It took me a second because I zoomed out kind of far away. Amrita will aim at the one that has already been bloodied, I think. The one that's closest over here.
Okay,
Right.
with advantage.
Yep.
Due to fairy fire.
Alrighty.
Or an angelic fire, I suppose.
Yeah, that'd be kind of weird to say fairy fire and Innistrad with humans. Angelic fire.
With a quick shot, clean hunter's precision, as painless as possible, this dog hits the ground with a slight yelp, just rolling onto the ground, into the dirt next to it, next to this villager who kind of like shocked looks in your direction. And Acrio.
Okay, I guess. Fucking shot down.
What are we supposed to
I
do, man?
You can definitely tell these dogs are not listening to their owner.
Yeah,
as you
so
heard when
it's
he was coming
like-
up, they're in attack/defense mode of their territory, not paying attention to commands.
I'm gonna dash to get anywhere. My spiritual weapon is a hammer, but it does force damage. Is force damage non-lethal, or is force damage always lethal? I know bludgeoning can be non-lethal, but I don't know about anything.
Yeah. For this instance, I'll allow it to be non-lethal if you choose for it to be.
Yeah, I don't want to kill anybody. Okay, spiritual weapon. I'm taking everybody down. Everybody's going down here. Nobody's in the right. This man right here. Everybody's going to sleep.
Okay. Just as he's watching the dog hit the ground in front of him that had been pulling on his ankle, attempting to drag him down, flaming hammer comes out from your own, shooting across the field as you're bolting into the melee, and is going to swing for his head in a non-lethal fashion.
And go to sleep.
And you do have advantage because he got caught in the angelic fire.
Oh, cool. 14.
So that does hit.
It's damage, 5 force damage.
He is the equivalent of bloodied. Like it hits and kind of moves through him. You can see he's disrupted, kind of like starts coughing up blood, but doesn't appear as though he's necessarily about to keel over. However, he's shocked and horrified by this hammer and probably not going to stick around.
Everybody's going down here. When you engage in a bar fight, everybody's at fault. The dogs, the people, even Old Red. We're gonna kill Odd Red too.
Yeah, this one's gonna try for Acrio with probably very little success. As you're moving into the melee, feeling the threat to its territory, this dog is going to attempt to bite at you. Just catching the edge of your shield, kind of like biting and pulling at it, you yank it out of its mouth.
Ooh, I feel it's good to block 18s.
This villager man has his ankle pulled, bitten into, nearly pulled out from under him, and yeah, he topples to the ground prone with this dog like going in for his throat at this point. And the last two with their pack tactics, oops, that should have been an advantage, but it doesn't need it because it hit. Yeah, the two of them. This village man, villager with his pitchfork, surrounded by the two of them, had managed to just swing a torch and hit one of them, but the other comes up from behind, tackles him, and just starts tearing at his throat. And yeah, he doesn't look like he's gonna make it. At that point, this individual one of them books it for the forest. Absolutely, no intention of staying around for that.
Get the fuck out of here.
The one on the ground prone is going to try to crawl away, but he's kind of stuck in place. The other one, risking an attack of opportunity, escapes just barely, and will also, he's out of there. As you continue to see Red just shouting, screaming, running his hands through his hair, trying to get a hold of the situation, holding up a lantern. It's kind of pressed against the edge of his house to no avail.
Alright, well that guy over there is absolutely fucking dead. Mind sliver one of those dogs.
Okay. They are susceptible to that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Are you trying to focus it enough that it's not a lethal brain explosion, or just like letting this sliver?
I just didn't want to kill it. I just don't want to kill the puppies, but they're being mean.
I'm gonna have you make an Arcana check.
Okay.
It yelps, laying on the ground, but you can see its legs still kicking. Doesn't appear to be dead, but unconscious at least.
Alright.
So these two are still being vicious.
Mm-hmm. With your instincts, I will say, being what they are, you can see that this one here looks like he's about to run after that person who had gotten away from him, or her.
Alright, if that's the case, then she will prepare her aim and take a shot. Sorry, that was not supposed to be an advantage, but I think that's a 19.
Well, the first roll is still 21. Again, very clean, precise shot. Enough to bloody it, kind of like as it starts limping. Make an intimidation check with that.
Nope.
For these animals, being what they are, that is enough that it doesn't seem to want to give chase. Being wounded, it almost kind of reverts back to guarding the territory more than going after prey instinctually.
I'm gonna move here, see if that villager decides to stab me in the back for some reason.
Not really even paying attention. It's like she is shocked that you're even here. Come up behind her. It's like she momentarily has no way of processing it.
I'm going to attack the dog attacking the prone villager, and then the hammer will move over and attack that dog. Because I really want that dog to pay attention to me and not the prone guy.
Mm-hmm. The spiritual weapon will have advantage. The other will not.
Okay. So spiritual weapon.
Again, enough to cause this one to bleed and kind of like shrink back a bit.
Yeah, hammer.
Hits the dirt next to it. Just with the weight of this hammer, it almost like booms through the earth. I'll say the dog is going to turn your direction, but it's not enough to actually injure it.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna move here just to try and piss him off and get him to provoke. See if they'll follow me.
They're animals. They will do that.
Watch them.
One of which is
crit.
One of which is bloodied.
Nope.
All right.
You had to jinx yourself.
Even though that's a crit, can
No.
I use my reaction to help take some of that off?
Well, I'll take the crit. My hubris.
If you would like to, you can use your blood curse. What is your armor class currently? Acrio?
20.
Okay.
So yeah, she'd have to roll a 5 or above.
Then in that case, you might not want to do it because it's a D4 that you roll.
Oh,
You can't roll
Never
high
mind.
enough to. So yeah.
Damn it!
And
That's
he
not
rolled
to use that.
He rolled a 3, so
Yeah. So
Yeah, that's
You will
not going to
take,
work in that instance then.
yeah, I'm fine.
damage dice twice, use the higher result, but you will take 9 because the second roll is without a modifier, so that with the modifier on it would be 9 piercing damage, and you will need to make a
7.
DC 11 strength saving throw to avoid being pulled prone yourself, which you do as it's catching you in your leg just at the cusp of your boot, and you feel the teeth piercing into your skin pretty deeply, almost stumbling back as you're trying to get away. You manage to kick it off gently enough to get it away from you, but not permanently damage it necessarily. However, now they're both gonna rush right at you again
Yes.
on their turn.
No, don't touch me there.
My first one was with pack tactics, so
Nope.
however, yeah, this time grab your boot, pull it up over the wound, refitting your armor the way it should have been, and with your shield blocking them back, the villagers seem to both be able to get away without provoking any kind of. This one has to stand, so it's not able to get quite as far, but they are all scattering.
Oh yeah, that's why I did that. I was like, wait, why did I provoke?
Get them to follow you, and it worked. Asuriel, you're back up, seeing villagers fleeing, some of them wounded, others just scared out of their minds, in over their heads.
Are there any other dogs or... Oh, well, no, actually, yeah.
You can
Dogs-
see two of which are bleeding, one of which is, still fairly healthy, attacking Acrio, and 2 others that are kind of assessing their territory.
Mine slivered the healthy one again.
While you do that, also, can you make a perception check for me?
Yes.
Yeah, no.
Damn, boy.
Go ahead and roll the Mind Sliver damage.
Where?
Enough to cause the other one to bleed. Disorienting it enough that, it's a little easier for Acrio to hit, potentially. As you're doing that, you look up, you see Red has, fallen to his knees, clutching his head as the lantern tips over, and some of the grass in the area is just burning a little. Not enough to set the place ablaze, but he is under some kind of duress.
Yeah, she'll head towards him then.
Rita is going to move a little bit and assess the situation with the 2 dogs surrounding Acrio. I assume they both look rather vicious still.
They do, one of which still has these white, angelic, shimmering sparks almost in its pelt, making it a little easier to hit.
Probably, Amrita will probably shoot at that one, and, well, is there a way to shoot one or intimidate them to back off maybe before shooting another? I don't know.
Given the fact Red himself can't get them to back off, I'm going to say you probably can't either. You could stop
Okay.
the one from chasing, but
All right.
it's still
Then-
their domain.
Yeah. Still seeing that he's not having control over these animals, she will shoot at the shiny one next to Acrio.
Go ahead and do it with advantage. Unneeded.
Yep. Nat
So,
20. Hi, Cookie.
Yeah. Well,
That's not
I think
dogs,
my understanding
please.
of nat 20s is that that's the most precise shot you could possibly make. If you would like to shoot it non-lethally, you may in this moment, or you can just eviscerate it. That's up to you.
She'll shoot it non-lethally.
Okay.
Right through the eye.
No, probably through the neck.
I mean, if you're just
That's
trying
not
to debilitate
non-lethal.
it, probably through the side, in an area you
Basically,
are
like
fairly
how
confident there are
she
no.
would kill the
return
dog.
weapons.
Yeah, she would kill the dog, like how she would kill a deer if she was hunting. A
See
similar
what?
thing.
I
That's
nominated-
not-
Are you
that's
going?
not
Are
entirely
you going
brutal,
non-lethal, Are you going non-lethal or killing it outright? That's the question.
Non-lethal. Sorry.
Okay, so you wouldn't be
Damn.
shooting it the way you would kill a deer, because you would kill a deer, is the point.
Yeah.
Nobody hunts a deer just to be like, ah, yes, I made it bleed.
Yeah. Moving along, please.
Sorry, Danielle. It's hilarious. I shoot it through the throat.
Shoot it
I'm
through the
sorry.
brain non-lethally. Anyway,
Okay.
Asuriel, as you're...
Phineas Gage it.
Yeah, we just give it a
Asuriel,
lobotomy.
Debilitating
as
creature.
you're moving in, seeing one of these dogs get dropped next to you, the other one's still snapping at Acrio, and you're looking at Red. He's just kind of like down on one knee, and you hear him just being like, "No, I made it through the moon. Not now, not now."
Oh,
As you start to
He
see
really
him
is a fucking
bulge.
werewolf. Oh no!
You hear the cloth ripping as this old man just increases in size, everything ripping off of him, massive teeth exposed, and you can see him start to kind of roar and howl.
Fuck! Amrita, I thought you rolled really good on perception.
That wasn't fucking me, man. That was Asuriel that rolled the perception. Oh, you son of a bitch, Jacob Isaiah!
Transforming into a fucking werewolf.
I mean, I guess this sort of makes sense.
Shit.
No normal person would survive outside the walls.
It makes a lot of sense. Bob's face is how we all feel right now. Like, oh no.
Oh,
Okay,
fuck.
she was going towards him, and then she sees that and she starts backing up. It's like, Acrio.
Oh, fuck me.
Acrio hears this snarling, massive, guttural sound, and this howl, just in time to look over as he sees a massive mouth and these dripping teeth and claws flying toward him, completely naked, covered in
fuck.
fur, his beard kind of disheveled at this point as he's going to pounce.
Get the fuck away from me. Get the fuck away from me. I just shield and bash him like over top of me.
Mm-hmm.
Get away. Oh, no, wait, that doesn't
His pounce does not connect, both claws being deflected by this shield as he goes in for one final bite,
yeah, good, get fucked.
catching the edge of the shield again and just snarling, pulling at it, almost ripping your arm out of its socket as you have to yank it back. And you're up.
I go to reach for the silver shackles, pat my side, I'm like, oh fuck. And I pull the hammer, I grab the hammer, shield up. I'm casting Shield of Faith on me as my bonus action.
Mm-hmm.
Shield of Faith plus 2 AC, so I have a 22 now. And then hammer, try and bash him. Or actually, no, I'm not going hammer. I'm going full defense mode. I'm gonna cast Ascending Flame on him.
Okay, what does that do?
So he has to make. It's a dex save. He's probably dexterous as hell. I need the temp HP. Yes.
Yep, he'll get hit with the radiant.
Oh, that's 1 temp HP. Okay. One more than 0. Okay. Yep, that's my turn. Just full defense mode.
Cool. Pack tactics being what they are. That was supposed to be right there. Both of these animals, with flanking, still not enough. coming up from behind you, now more engaged and enraged by the leader that they believe they should have this entire time, leading the hunt rather than trying to call them off. Both of them snarling, trying to go for Acrio. You get hit in the back with paws knocking you forward, another one biting at your legs. You can feel the splint armor being like caught in the teeth, pulling, but nothing's able to get through. While one of the others is going to go for Asuriel. You take 8 piercing damage and need to make a strength saving throw, please.
Yes, my 0 strength. Let's see. I'm down. On the ground, not actually dead.
Amrita, you see Asuriel pull to the ground with these dog's teeth in her leg. The white robes that she had purchased and the pants just starting to stain with blood. However, Asuriel's up first.
Alright, let's do a little quicken spell Mind Sliver on the dog.
Okay.
No, just fucking kill them all. Fireball, Suriel.
I don't have Fireball!
Why don't you have Fireball yet?
Because the
That is enough to kill this animal. Are you, again, trying to make it non-lethal, or just in the moment, hitting it in its mind?
Yeah, seeing the fucking werewolf over there and seeing a dog attacking her, she's like, maybe I need to get the fuck out of here. Yeah, 20 feet over there behind Acrio, and it might just be time to cast
what's your
a
speed?
movie. 30.
Okay, well,
You were
you
not-
either have to stand with half or crawl with
whoops.
half, so you can get 50.
Right. Yeah, that over there is fine.
Are you gonna stand, or just like across the ground?
No, she's gonna stand. Just
Alright,
think from sense of very bad.
just like doing that standing, stumbling, run a few feet.
Just gonna cast that little moonbeam on the werewolf, because that sounds like a good idea.
Now, shape changers, which werewolves are, make this with disadvantage.
Yay!
Oh my fucking
Well,
god, are you for real?
This,
Well,
from what it
still
sounded like, this werewolf has been locked inside red for some time, not even drawn out by the moon. Doesn't make any sense, but that's what he seems to have claimed just in his own rantings. Whether or not that's true or he just doesn't remember it. It is full of rage and not paying attention whatsoever to your beam of light, just cascading, and you see steam burning off of its flesh as it's still trying to rip into Acrio.
yeah. It's at the beginning of its turns, but it's gonna start its turn there anyway.
Yeah.
It still takes that 2d10. Well, half of that 2d10.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
But first, Amrita.
Fucking kill him.
Amrita's gonna put the bow away. And she is going to she's gonna go past Asuriel and get over here and just like say to Asuriel that was like, you need to get as far back as you can. Listen to what I'm telling to you right now. And yeah, she's gonna
Not a problem!
look at Acrio and just be like, I'm sorry for what's about to happen, and she's gonna
Are you fucking
transform.
sacrificing me to a werewolf?
No! Unlike probably the other werewolves the party has seen, though, etc., it's almost like the armor that Amrita wears. It's made to fit even the animalistic form, as black hair that matches the head of her hair starts to grow on her arms and like down sideburns. And yeah, there's a black werewolf with the bicolored eyes.
You
and
see
the vertical.
her face shift, snout protrude slightly, the canines enlonged. As her form expands, she grows even taller, well over 7 feet at this point. Claws ripping out of her fingers. Her boots, she would probably have to kick off really quick because her feet also expand in paws far too large to be contained by shoes. But the rest of her armor, as you can see, has been kind of fitted so that it doesn't rip, and her clothing and her hooded cloak and everything is maintained. And she's still wearing that, unlike most werewolves that are just ripped through their clothing, too large to even be contained by it. Hers has been specially designed, it seems.
Specially designed armor, so she's still armored while ripping me to pieces.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I still have my attack, don't I?
Yeah, that is your bonus action. Now, you had just enough to get there, and you're not quite in range of this creature.
Not of him, but of the dog in front of me, right?
Yes, that you could do.
Then I will. Yeah.
Rushing forward, after you said this to Asuriel, and your body expanding, you just swipe down, severing this dog's spine in multiple places as is hutched to the side. So go ahead and roll those 2d10. Asuriel, at the start of Rid's turn, you will take half of this.
You will take half of this damage, Asuriel, not him.
Get the fuck away from me. And
Again, you see this moonbeam where the clouds have parted in the night, and the waning moon going from full after the past few nights just shines down in a beam through the trees and the clouds. It sizzles and burns on this werewolf's back. Certain other shape changers are reverted to like other forms when hit with a moonbeam. Werewolves, because of the effect of the moon, it draws the transformation out, so that doesn't have any particular effect, but it is hurt somewhat. Disregarding Amrita being another werewolf for the moment, just steps around and will attempt again to ravage the Cathar. That was not a disadvantage, but still. 14. Flanking won't even help that. And I don't think...
flanking wouldn't help that either.
Again, just tearing into your armor. Large slash marks across the holy symbol on your shield. You're
Put it
being
in your
battered
fucking
in
shield.
a tin can.
Thrust forward by the
he's
dog,
not been
thrust
able
back
to-
by the werewolf, forward, back, forward.
Yeah,
The footing
so far not able
apart.
to draw blood at this point. You're up.
Just tired of this werewolf, or this wolf behind me. Just for a split second while holding the shield, just turn around and back swing on the wolf. And then moves over to beat the shit out of it as well if I don't kill it. Actually, I'm gonna leave the hammer there just in case I do kill it first. Okay.
Sure. Quite enough to kill it.
Okay, hammer will move over.
It's very bloodied.
Finish the job.
Minimum damage would finish
Yeah.
said job. Turning, swinging low, and your hammer, spiritual hammer moving in, wreathed in flames, trailed by smoke, hits it, collapses dead with no intention of being non-lethal at this point.
Yeah, and then I'll turn back to the big guy, ready to keep
Are you
taking
going
hits.
to move at all or stay put?
No, I have two werewolves in front of me that both want my flesh, I think, in Acrio's expert opinion.
Yeah.
Amrita was just
Amrita
like,
was.
sorry about this. And
She
fucking
wants that
turned into a
flesh.
werewolf. So yeah, I'm gonna keep both of them in front of me.
This is not how I thought things were gonna go.
It turned into a fucking werewolf!
Can you like move a little bit like this? When I move the moonbeam, it doesn't go over both of you.
I mean, that's a little late at this point.
Fair enough. She's not. She doesn't. You know what? Sorry, Amrita. I really am though, but she's gonna move it over. Basically, Amrita's in the center.
Wow. Keep him on the edge of it, man.
I can't fucking keep them on the edge.
From this angle, there's no edge. It's to hit this one, you would have to be next to one of the others.
So couldn't it be like right here?
I mean, yeah, but that would also still hit Amrita. So
yeah, but like it would give Amrita more wiggle room to not be
over there.
Sure.
Instead of having her getting murked from the center of a moonbeam.
Yeah,
are you going to move it
a little bit further away?
What?
That's it.
Watches my only ally here leave me.
The clouds shift slightly as the light shines down just at a slightly different angle after this hulking werewolf had moved to re-catch it, also catching Amrita. So you will need to make a Constitution saving throw with disadvantage.
Okay, well you just passed it actually, so it's fine.
So go ahead and roll your 2d10.
Oh.
Bitch, of course.
So you'll take
more
6
damage on the one.
Or no, 7. You take 7 radiant damage. This is for this round, so Red will also take the same potentially if he does not make it. However, Amrita, you're up first.
All right, so she moves away from that after feeling it on her body.
It's not as bad as silver, but the moon is still painful.
Let's see, is Crimson Knight really worth it in this moment to me?
Oh god, the werewolf's moving closer to me.
Yeah, you know what? Similar to what the flames that appear on her weapons, her eyes, and even in this form, her claws, they begin to glow.
So as her eyes ignite, you see as she just takes both arms, kind of like breaks them across her own shoulders, and as the blood splatters out, her hands and claws ignite in flames.
I believe I would be bloodied at this point as well, so...
What's your HP max?
31.
And what you at currently?
17.
That's after reducing by 3?
Yes.
Then you are not bloodied yet.
Okay. I couldn't remember.
Close, but not quite.
16 and a half, right?
That's a bonus action, so you still have your attack.
Yep. No!
Well,
no!
As you swing for Red, it's odd Red, because he tucks back into the moonlight and avoiding your claw. You wouldn't have expected something to do that, not another one of your nature. As you see the light shining down on him, casting these weird shadows over his body and his teeth, as you see the steam just sizzling off of his flesh. He will make his Constitution saving throw. Does not make it, and he will take the 15
nice.
of the radiant damage. He's going to snap at you, Amrita, with his jaws before, again, trying to batter Acrio. How do you deflect these jaws coming toward you?
I imagine he is probably coming down to bite at Amrita's neck, or similar fashion, whatever she did to Acrio, but she quickly just dodges it and shoves him back with one of her hands or claws.
Much faster than he is, as just these massive jaws snarling, opening up with saliva and just snapping down in your face. Quickly duck aside and check him with your elbow to knock him back as he's disoriented, but will go for claws against Acrio. That second one, he's attempting a disarm. So you need to make an athletics check or have your shield knocked off your arm.
Okay. And I get a 1d4 to that. Yeah, that doesn't. Yeah, my shield's gone. So I'm back down to a 20.
Knocks the shield away with one hand and just brings a claw up that you feel like rake across your forearm. It cuts you slightly, not enough to hurt too much, but it severs the straps of the shield as it just flings off several feet away from you, and you have to catch yourself and re-grip the hammer with both hands.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm switching. I'm like, look, the shield that's like a scrap piece of metal, dented and bent and broken in all different ways. Grab the hammer with both hands and just swing down on him.
First, he is going to use his speed, which you will be able to make attacks of opportunity. But he's getting away from that moonbeam now.
All right. We both can make attacks of opportunity, you said?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Oh, that's really far. Oh, I know what he's gonna fucking do.
Yes!
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Crush.
Burn, baby, burn.
That's good. Burn.
Yeah, we both got fire damage.
Yep.
As he's quickly backing up, clearly not intending to bolt at this point, but getting out of that radiant flame coming down from the moon. Amrita's claws catch him in the side, a burst of sparks. The hammer hits him in the tailbone. The magical weapon and the claws, neither of them doing an intense amount of damage like you would hope with a silver weapon or something. However, Amrita, you start to smell, as he's running away, the drops of blood trailing behind him.
Wait, it has to be silver, not even magic weapons?
It has resistance to magical weapons, full immunity to non-magical weapons, and silver whatsoever. So,
Jesus.
Yeah, that's Innistrad werewolves the way I'm doing it. Magic weapons still has resistance to that. Full immunity if it's not magic at all.
It, man.
Glad I'm not there.
And Acrio.
Oh boy. I'm mad I'm not there.
If I move through this moonbeam, do I take damage?
No, it's only if you start your turn there.
Yeah.
Okay. Hopefully not going to... You know what? I'm not even gonna fucking risk it. Acrio's gonna move like this. He's not going fucking near Amrita. He'll move 30 feet. The hammer will move 20. Tempted to use it on Amrita, but you know what? We won't kill her yet. And I'll cast Scorching Ray on Oddgrid. I know he's gonna fucking lunge at me, but...
Mm-hmm.
Say hello to my little friend.
All 3 Scorching Rays?
I don't have all 3. I only have 1.
Ah, gotcha. Just smashed in the chest with this mote of fire. You can see he's not incredibly hairy, but you kind of like light his beard aflame, which he just like snarls and scratches until the sparks and embers fall off and it is no longer lit.
Bob, 30 feet, maybe not get too close to Amrita.
Nobody touched the werewolf.
And then she's gonna move the moonbeam over to him because she can move that 60 feet and he's 40 feet away. 35.
Okay.
Get
Just
it over,
directly
Acrio.
Burn, baby,
painting down his
burn.
head.
And that will be it.
Amrita, you're up. The moonbeam has shifted in the sky yet again, is currently cascading directly down on this other werewolf. To get close to him, you would have to step into it, so that is up to you.
Oh, I
Oh,
probably
you
shouldn't have
dropped
done
it
it.
right on
Yeah.
top. Oh,
I probably
God.
shouldn't have done that. Ah, it's stupid of me.
It's instinct.
Yep. I'm gonna go after him anyway, and let me make that con save. That'll probably, hopefully, not kill me.
Well,
but if it does.
It's
You don't
at
actually-
the beginning of your
Oh.
turn.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you don't actually have to do it right now.
Okay.
Beginning of next turn, so disregard that for now, but we'll hold it. Still
Can
a
we,
success.
can we save that count save?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Can we put a pin in
Yeah.
that one?
All right. And
Or she could just move it on her turn because
Yeah, she's up before Amrita, so.
Fuck my
Magical
life.
visual, this fight.
You do have a bonus action, which you can use for a claw attack if you take a claw action.
Oh, yeah,
Because you haven't used a
sure.
bonus action this turn, you can do that.
Okay, that's
There
better.
you go.
Both of you standing in this moonbeam, he swats away your first claw. The second one, you're able to almost like take the nails and just jam them into his gut with a burst of flames, and he howls in pain, looking very, very bad at this moment. He will again make his Constitution saving throw. Asuriel, go ahead and roll your damage for that. For this round.
ooh.
Oh,
That's pretty good.
That's
So
spicy.
that will be 8.
Fortunately, he does only take half.
Well, yeah.
I mean-
that's why it's
Yes,
that's why it's
but-
8. But yeah,
So
It's still good.
yeah. He is going to risk the attack of opportunity, going for the target he originally had in mind.
You're
Amrita,
setting
you
up a
can make-
lunge so well.
Yeah, you can make an attack of opportunity on him.
Hey!
Nice.
And
in
both
the
of them have-
moonlight. This is awesome.
As he's lunging through the air, you're able to catch, ripping down his side to his tail as he's leaping at Acrio, this close to being desperate.
Oh!
That
As
would
he
have
is
been
going to
bad news bears.
both claws.
That would have hit anyway.
You're going to take 11 slashing,
So 10.
and his pounce, an
bro.
additional 8.
Mm.
Okay.
And I need you to make a DC 13 strength saving throw,
Fuck you.
Oh!
which you
The cleric
succeed,
standing stalwart! You love to see it.
Oh, I'm hurting though.
holding the hammer of the heavens as a shield in front of you. You take the claw just to your belt line as it like gets, you feels like you might have ruptured an intestine. It's that deep. You stumble back, but you're not knocked prone as he is going to continue his assault.
Oh, thank God. Oof.
Both of which, shielded by your hammer, he is unable to connect.
Damn,
you are
Raptor's badass.
Oh. Alright. 20 feet to there. Oh, both hammers down on him. Please die.
The classic move.
Yeah.
Oh, faithful.
Oh.
The old hammer sandwich.
Mm. Come
Does
on,
not hit.
spiritual weapon. Does that hit?
That one does. How would you like to do this?
Oh, God. Yeah,
As soon as your eyebrows went up, I'm like, he's either got 1 HP or you've got it.
He was not quite desperate, but this was all it's going to take.
Oh God, yeah, just he's like his vision's starting to double, and he attacks like the one that's not the actual werewolf. So his hammer just swings into the ground, and the werewolf, just as it moves to the side, the other hammer comes and just embeds itself in the back of its head, being magical and not relying on Acrio. Like, I'm still standing, but I'm not standing.
I didn't hear no bell.
I didn't hear no bell.
Yeah, with a spiritual weapon embedded in the back of his skull, this ragged, old, bearded werewolf hits his knees, falls to the ground, and that's where we're going to drop the curtain on this week's session.
Jake, I cannot wait 2 weeks for the conclusion of this. You're gonna kill me.
Still got
As
cure
the
wounds.
one werewolf hits the ground and, drops, you just see the other one silhouetted by moonlight.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.